Hello again, everyone, and welcome, good evening, and Happy New Year. I am Gary Gonzo. Welcome to P1's broadcasting coverage of Round 1 of Season 4 of the Votive Indy Oval Series. As tonight we come to you from Kentucky Speedway for what is growing into one of iRacing's, or actually the iRacing INDYCAR community's crown jewel level events. It's the fourth running of the Votive Indy Derby, presented by Loverns Incorporated. As always, joining me in the booth for expert analysis, he is a winner in the Lionheart Series, won the 2025A Elite Racing League's Freedom 100 and finished on the podium and started from the pole for what is now recognized and regarded as the inaugural running of this race is Luis Gonzalez Nunez. Luis, welcome to the program as we are looking at the off-season statistics here of the Votive Indy Oval Series. They have been hard at work over the offseason. There you see in November and December, they ran 4 races. There you see the winners and the action leading into today's opener here for Season 4. Luis, good to have you here. And I guess the big story over the last couple of seasons has been 13 different winners in 18 races over the last 2 seasons, with only Clindy, who's won the past 2 season championships, Ryan Campbell, who is the defending winner of this race, and Edson Santos, the only drivers with repeat victories in that time span. It just really goes to show you that the parity here of the Votive Indy Oval Series, you come to a race, anybody can win.
Yeah, for sure. Good evening, everyone. Yeah, Happy New Year, actually. That's signs last year we don't be here in Votive once again. But yeah, first of all, about the off-season, they been busy. They don't want to getting call all these guys. So pretty good job. But Clendy winning 2 races, then Matt Taylor and Ryan Campbell. Like you say, yeah, that's true. Is many names in the winner. For example, Ryan Campbell won the last time in season 3, but the only one from pole to win is Karen Richard. Is the only one to winning the Kentucky the Kentucky Derby. Sorry, from the first to the front. So actually to the front basically. But yeah, I like I just said last season we have multiple until round 5 when Clendy won on the Texas, and we break the timing for the victories. And then in season 2, same too, is just until round 8 when Clendy won in Charlotte. Actually, that's when we break 7 different winners in season 2. But who knows? Really, is we have a lot of people today, a lot of new names, different names for sure. We have 20 different names versus 20 at different finishes in the top 20 last season. So it's going to be 43 cars. Actually, 43 cars is going to be the lineup for sure. It's going to be 43 cars in the grid. 42 cars actually. The last one is Connie Cavaco in the lineup. So thinking about it, the first race was August 18, 2024, when I did the poll and Mark Murphy won the race. And then we have this big race with big numbers just started for that. So I hope it's going to be a good race, 200 laps here in Kentucky. And we have a plenty fun race with big names. Actually, 2 Pro Series here. So you're gonna talk about later in the lineup for sure.
Yeah, and there you saw the schedule that was on your screen for a while. That is the season schedule, but we're going to start off with one of the community crown jewels. It's very quickly grown into that, along with like the P1 600 and, of course, the PRI Hoosier 500 in December. So we're kicking off the year with one of the crown jewels right away. So here are your previous winners of the Derby. Mark Murphy won as what was recognized as now the first Votive Indy Derby, and that actually was held as an off-season race in 2024. Then Tanner Richards won the first, what we would consider regular season race, and then Ryan Campbell won last year. Those are your 3 winners. 2 of them in the lineup today, Murphy and Campbell, and they are looking to become 2-time champions here in this race. Here are the Votive Derby eligible drivers that are in the show. We will talk about everybody that is going to be in it. This is not the lineup. These are just the drivers in the show. So what makes up? What is the breakdown? How do you get into the Derby? There's an open way, and then there's a way to guarantee yourself a spot. Here you go. This is how it is determined. Champions Provisional. Clindy and Josh Ward, the only two champions of the history of the Votive Indy Oval Series, they get automatic provisionals, as well as previous winners, Mark Murphy and Ryan Campbell. And if those drivers are not already part of the top 20, all the top 20 drivers will also get a provisional to start. Then you see at the bottom of that column right there, you have the competition provisional, which is Robert Malechka, RM3, Jacob Oster, Adam Blocker, Brendan Lichtenberg. These are all Pro Series level drivers, and they are getting effectively promoter options here to join the starting lineup. Then all the open qualifiers. And the open qualifiers, interesting that we're qualifying twice tonight. The open qualifiers had to qualify to just make that open portion of the field in one of the open qualifier spots. There you see those drivers as well as the alternates. And I believe Tony Estrada did get promoted into the open qualifiers lineup due to some absences. So we'll go over the starting lineup here in just a little bit. We have 5 minutes left in the opening warm-up here before we go green. But those are the drivers that got in via the open. So when we come into today's session, for all those that qualified just to get here, they got to qualify again. But before that, they did a bunch of practice. And here are the drivers, just to tell you how much the drivers really value this race. Casey Povolonis, who is actually just behind the graphic we're watching on the screen, who won in our Tuesday night Indy Oval Series race. He turned 769 laps in practice leading up to this event. Anna Klimek, 652. Gary Lovern, 605. Indy Kirkenbauer, the Prodigy, 577. Luke Reed, 578. And we got Coker with the host with the most, the admin, 429. So you see, a lot of drivers have turned laps, but then we also see quite a bunch of drivers that haven't turned any laps, including the pole sitter for the Elite Racing League's Indy 500, Chris Albrecht, Chris Stouffer, Cody Kavanko, Edson Santos, former race winner. In fact, he's your career winner in victories here in the Votive Indy Oval Series. He didn't turn any laps, so a lot of people have opted not to choose to turn any laps here in practice. So a lot of what we see going on right now in warm-ups, those guys are getting their first laps under anger. Also, if they were in practice as well before, leading up to qualifying. So we will see how much they were able to learn in practice and now in this warm-up session. So let's get that all off the screen here. And now we got everybody up to speed on where we've been, where we were, what we were doing, how you get in the lineup. And here is today's starting lineup from the fourth running of the Votive Indy Derby. And on the pole, to nobody's surprise, Robert Malechka with a time of 24.4. Right next to him, though, Mason Mitchum. He's off a good week. He started on the front row at Indianapolis. Or where were we? We were at the Indy Oval Series. I have to look at the calendar. Everything seems to blur together right now. We were at Atlanta. That's where we were. And he started on the front row with Casey Povolonis. Of course, Casey got the win, but Mitchum showing pace again up at the front here in the Derby on the front row there. And then we have one of our former champions, Josh Ward. Jeff Ward's an IndyCar driver. Josh Ward. Right next to him is Trace Id. He lines up fourth. Then we got Seb Alexander, the Indy Oval Series champion. He is lining up in row 3, and the former winner here, Mark Murphy, in row 3. Logan Edwards, winner over in the Formula Indy Series in the Elite Racing League. He lines up on row 4 with the Indy Next Oval Series champion, Indy Kirkenbauer, the Prodigy. Then we got Shane Coker, the host with the most, with a good showing in his race, starting 9th with Jacob Oster, the Wormman. He lines up in the 10th position. Then we got Chris Stouffer. Watch him. Gary Lovern right next to him. Then we have one of our defending champion, one of our former winners here, Ryan Campbell, and Andrew Marquez, who won at Milwaukee last year in the Votive Indy Oval Series. Craig Forsyth, who has finished second but twice in this race, looking for that win. Anna Klimek right next to him. Anna, winner last season at Iowa. Glendy, two-time and defending series champion, lines up in row 9 right next to Leon. And Leon making one of his first starts here in the series in row 9. Then we got back on row 10, we got Rashad Craig, the Indy Open Series champion and Pro Series driver in a brand new livery. Looks pretty slick. The Dark Knight himself, Adam Blocker in row 10, lining up 20th. Butch Davis making an appearance on row 11, and Brendan Lichtenberg on the outside. We'll watch that row. Getting in as an alternate, Tonio Estrada. Remember, Tony had a really good race here last year. Might he be able to repeat that? Right next to him is Swearingen. Then we got Hobson and Durazo. Costner and Kostik Sowicz, my fellow Polak, back on row 14. Hugo Gallas and Luca Tedesco, one of our broadcast partners, back on row 15. And then row 16, we got Hysong and Reed. Casey Povolonis, our winner earlier in the week at Atlanta in the Indy Oval Series, right next to the Catalyst Andrew Wood at row 17. Jacob Collins, our commentator for the Indy Next Series races on Monday and Tuesday nights. Next to him, you see him in the AMA on Thursdays and Fridays, brought to you by Mark Murphy, and that is Ryan O'Donohue, one of the stock car veterans, making an INDYCAR appearance here in the Votive Indy Oval Series and the Derby in row 18. Then we got the pole sitter at Indianapolis in the Elite Racing League. Chris Albrecht right next to him as Caleb Brashear, winner in the Indy Oval Series at Indianapolis. Then Ty Quilla, a winner here in Votive, winner at Pocono a season ago. And then Chad Simpson, one of the drivers that qualified very fast at the PRI Hoosier 500 that wasn't on Power Slide, or the wall of Power Slide as everyone called it there. And then we got Clay Kirkenbauer, who is the Prodigy's dad, and Cody Cavaco lining up in the final spot in row 21. And then as I count your 42 car field here at Kentucky. Did I miss anybody, Lewis?
No, you're very, very good on that. So you're right. That's the 42 cars. 82 track tempered, 79.2 air or ambient, whatever. It's 14 miles coming from the east. That's what they told me. The wind coming now. Pretty cool, actually. For sure, when it's going down for night. Sorry, it's gonna be a little more cold, and it's gonna be a lot of back race, spectacular pass and stuff here in Kentucky.
This is a fixed setup race provided by the league, developed by Robert Malechka. So he's kind of the racer's edge, so to speak, on the setup here as we are lining up and getting ready to take the first of two formation and pace laps here at Kentucky. So since the field is so big, and then there are some people look like they are starting from the pits. Yeah, we got some people starting from the pits there too. Caleb Brashear, I think, is starting from the pits. We'll double check that.
I'll let you know. Rafael Leon is on pits.
Rafi Leon, okay. Rafi Leon is starting from the pits there in that Luke Mansky entry you saw sitting on pit road. We are in a 1.5 D-shaped intermediate oval. 200 laps of racing tonight, 300 iRacing miles, no fast repairs. There are 6 sets of tires that you have in tonight's race. 1 on the car, 5 in the pits. 45 miles per hour on the pit road speed limit. So when we had this race in 2024 for the very first time, it was 100 laps. Mark Murphy beat Craig Forsyth by 1.1 seconds. Luis Gonzalez Nunez, well, he finished third, about 3 seconds back. Season 2, round 3, we had the second running of this race. Tanner Richards over Andy Kirkenbauer by 0.4 of a second. Eric Peterson finished third in that race. Season 3, we went up to our 200-lap limit we are at now, which was a round 1, opened the season. Ryan Campbell won that over Craig Forsyth again by 0.3 of a second. Glendy finished third, about 0.5 of a second back. Remember, we've had 15 different winners and 25 races over 3 complete seasons here in the Votive Indy Oval Series. The last first-time winner was Mason Mitchum, which was round 9, season 3 at Indianapolis. If you include the off-season stats, there have been 18 different winners and 32 total races here in the Votive Indy Oval Series. And again, we're emphasizing parity, a lot of parity. If you make the lineup here in Votive, if you drive a smart race, chances are you're going to be in the play at the finish of these races. So all you have to do is get to the end, and those where we've been here last. Today's fourth running of the Votive Indy Derby is presented to you by Leverns Incorporated. Leverns provides professional services in renovation, remodeling, painting, and mold removal for government, commercial, and residential projects. For a quote or to learn more, like them on Facebook or visit them at their website at leverensinc.com. The link is in the description. And a shout out to Tom Levern, who's Gary's brother. Gary's in the lineup. Tom Levern is the owner of Leverns Inc. And I want to thank them for being presenting sponsor of the Votive Indy Derby, the fourth running of it. Going to turns 3 and 4. Going green next time by. Field under the command of Robert Malechka and Mason Mitchum. Row 2, Josh Ward, Trey Shadid. Row 3, Seb Alexander, Mark Murphy, Logan Edwards, Indy Kirkenbauer, Coker, and Oster. Your first 5 rows of 2. Getting ready to start here under dust conditions at the East Speedway just south of Kentucky. Pace car is off the track, firmly under the control of Robert Malechka. Starting off, getting a run to the start, and we are off at the Votive Indy Derby for the 4th running here in Season 4 of the Votive Indy Oval Series.
Bad restart for Mason Mitchell. Now it's 3rd, and they have losing 1 more position. Maybe he's going to, actually, he's losing the position for Seb Alexander. Now he's going 4th. And Trey Shadid is coming soon over there.
Stouffer on the high side around Coker. Here comes Ryan Campbell looking to the inside of Coker. Coker stays high. Fortunately feeds the dirty air to his teammate Lovern right behind him. But clean air down low for Campbell, our defending champion, down to the bottom, and he will get the position. Right up in front of him, Chris Stouffer side by side. Right underneath him is Jacob Oster, the new driver for Team Hype, Power Slide Team Hype. Right in front of them, there's Logan Edwards. Mitchum spreading out now with Mason Mitchum and Trey Shadid on this high side. 3 wide coming off the corner right behind him. Stouffer in the middle. Kirkenbauer back there as well. Oster and Campbell side by side through turns 1 and 2. Now, the very interesting track, each end of the racetrack is not identical, Lewis. Turns 3 and 4, a little bit like turns 1 and 2 at New Texas. Turns 3 and 4, or turns 1 and 2 here are like turns 3 and 4 at Texas. Universally kind of the same banking that it had, or at least the 24 degrees of banking. Once you get to the bottom, particularly on those turns 1 and 2, you should be able to pull off the pass. But right now, the high side seems to be working with these newer tires at this point during the race. But different side of the racetrack in turns 3 and 4. Your car handles completely different over there, doesn't it?
Yeah, actually, I talking about when I'm gonna say something like when I driving over there. 1 and 2, you can go for the first line. Like now, it's Adam Blocker in the 15 now. But then 3 and 4, you going line, but the car is the X is super slow. It's better to take the middle line to middle to second line. Actually, some people use the high line. Actually, it's good. The only problem is you can hit the wall very fast. But when you go to 1 and 2, you can go full throttle. But the problem is the tire, when it's getting gone, is going to the wall by itself. Even with the dirt here, is more dangerous too.
And I need to look for a piece of wood because I'm very, very proud of how this field got through the opening laps of this race. No cautions yet in the early stages. Everyone realizes there's a lot of cars out here, a lot of dirty airs. Some of these drivers have not raced in a race with this many cars on the racetrack before, at least an IndyCar race with this many cars on the racetrack. Oh, as Logan Edwards blinks out underneath Adam Blocker. So everyone kind of giving everyone a little bit of room. Watching this battle back with side-by-side Anna Klimek to the inside of Coker. Now Butch Davis is going to send it to the inside there of Coker. As Lovern goes back another spot, Antonio Estrada, one of the alternates to make the race. Remember, he had a very good race here last season. He, underneath Gary Lovern, going to move him up another position. Here comes Brendan Lichtenberg, the Hyperstar. And on the high side of the Hyperstar, there is Kostik Solwij. A lot of drivers from many different communities all around, many different leagues in the IndyCar community here. Kostik Solwij finished on the podium in the Votive Indy Oval Series. Right behind him, A.J. Hobson finished on the podium at Indianapolis in the Elite Racing League's Indy 500. Rashad Craig, champion of the Indy Open Series a season ago. Meanwhile, back up front, it is Robert Malechka, leader by 0.3. Over Jeff Ward, and Chris Stouffer, who has worked his way up 8 spots. And right now, he is, I'm looking up and down the starting lineup here. He is your biggest mover at the moment. He's up 8 spots, Lewis. He has taken, we know that he has certain racetracks that he does well at, and Kentucky's one of them, as he has moved right on up into the bottom step of the podium at the moment, as we are only 12 laps into this thing.
Actually, Chris Stouffer is, it's Chris Stouffer. It's really fast. It's not somebody is like you cannot take it down. Also, Adam Blocker is a spot over there in 12. I really worry about it. Mason Mitchell talking about the other side, the back side. It's about Mason Mitchell 11 spots down, and Andrew Marquez 11 down. He started 14, now 25 actually. So, but the biggest lower. Actually, the biggest lag for Mason Mitchell. He's starting in the front row, and now it's in 14, 13 now. But Adam Block is going strong over there. It just takes time. It's 200 laps for sure, 187 to go. So actually, I really agree with you. I'm really surprised with all of these 42 cars. We thinking about it's going to be a disaster first 10 laps. But to be honest, we are 14. I look like fixed series. Like everyone, good driving, good turning. Everyone is know everyone. It's like good to that.
Watching a battle now, Mason Mitchum, Logan Edwards. As Mitchum continues to fall to the back of the pack. Again, it doesn't necessarily mean he's in trouble. He just might be running a pace of his own. We're expecting first round of pit stops about lap 45 or so. If you can get closer to 50, because it's a 200-lap race, that makes things work out to mathematically very easily. So we'll see if anybody tries to do any saving of fuel, and that might be what Mitchum is doing. Indy Kirkenbauer racing Seb Alexander and getting the position there. A little bit further right behind him. Two drivers with a lot of experience battling and working with one another. That is Clindy and Mark Murphy.
We have a, race control said no action for Chris Albrecht because they have a contact with Luke Wright in the lap 11 in the back straight. I think we went side by side. I think Chris Albrecht he went to the right and have a contact, and Luke lose the front wing. Now he don't have a front wing actually. Luke is gonna be close to lose a lap with Malechka.
And yeah, he's trying to hope that there's and you would think maybe with 42 cars out there that a caution might come out, and he's trying to do that, but he's going to have Malechka on his toes, on his heels here very, very shortly, about 3 seconds behind and quickly gaining. There you see that shot right there. That is Luke Reed from Scours Racing, One Wing Angel at the moment, trying to nurse that car to the first pit stop. A little early to stop, but he might have to just come on in and get it taken care of.
By the way, this start to field today, or the soft, or actually start to field. That's the word. 42-16. 42-16. That's basically. Well,
that used to be top split for some of our when we kind of started the top split Oval Series broadcast. I was, when we got anything over a 4, I was like, well, really good. Now it's like when it's over a 5, it's really good. A 4.2 certainly would be a comfortable top split race on Tuesday, so it's pretty good here.
That is the top split when I used to rate in the fixed stadium. 4K is like, my God, what is this? But I take it. But it's pretty good, actually. It's pretty good.
Mason Mitchum down the high side of Logan Edwards, and he is down 15, and he's going to go down another spot. But again, we're about halfway through this run, and he might be just trying to hit a fuel number. As we look up front, Robert Malechka, Josh Ward side by side for position.
Getting close. Josh Ward took the lead for maybe a lap, and now Robert is side by side once again.
These are two drivers we don't see very often unless they're in top split races, and schedules doesn't always make it possible that these guys are always in the same top split races. So this is kind of a head-to-head battle we don't see very often. So get the popcorn out, get the drink out. Ward's clear. He goes down to the bottom of the racetrack, picks up the position and the lead. Josh Ward versus Robert Malechka. This is a bit of a treat. We don't see this very often.
Yeah, sure. The only way to see it is when in the top split for sure, the Tuesday night when you see Malechka and everyone, and also Josh Ward over here. He have a 5.5K on the iRacing, so for sure he is in the top split on Tuesday night. But sometimes, Robert is really busy with the Pro Series and all the stuff, and also the real life and the INDYCAR. And Josh Ward for sure also is busy for his stuff, but now we're seeing them actually.
Yeah, these are two drivers with.
Here, make it a good battle.
Yeah, these are two drivers with more than 5K I ratings. I mean, these are pretty elite drivers. Anytime that, when you see a 5K I rating, that's as elite as they come. These are both will exceed 5K, and also not to mention. Robert Malechka has that Pro Series license. Of course, the Pro Series kicked off their season on Thursday night at Long Beach. Unfortunately, one of the hired guns of the esports teams beat out the community drivers, but Phil Krause, I believe, held up our side of the bargain pretty good for the community. I think he came home fourth in that particular race. So.
Oh no! And now he finished at top 10. The race now.
Okay.
But let me tell you, the moment you go to the oval, all this CS4 guy on the top is so for sure.
Oh, look at Robert. Sends it to the bottom, going into 1 as he used that little bit of the apron they're allowed to use on the front stretch. You're not supposed to use the apron anywhere on this racetrack with the exception of just past the start-finish line. There's a part of the apron they can use. It's just the way the lines are painted here. So you'll see him come through the racetrack this point, and you can actually use it. He goes like right below the yellow line there. That is the portion you can do that.
But the only problem is if you click back, and if you enter back or exit back, you're gonna lose the car for sure. So they have to be careful because there's only one section to enter to one section to exit. So it's really tricky, that entry.
Caleb Brashear back in 22nd position. He is up 16 spots, Lewis.
16. That's a really good performance for him. We have also Tony Strada with 11. And we have, what else? Oh, Caleb Brashear for sure. It's a 16.
And Clindy just getting around Seb right there off of 4. Seb is up 12 now in the running order. We saw Adam Blocker up about 8 spots. He's back 7 spots now. He's in 13th and it's kind of stalled out at the moment. But side by side, another pairing that you don't see very often in the races, just because of the community and how they're available with some of the top split broadcasts. Anna Klimek and Adam Blocker. Those are 2 all-stars in this community. You don't see that very often as they're battling for Just to tell you how hard fought they are from top to bottom, from first to 42nd in this lineup. This is a battle for 13th on the racetrack.
Yeah, look like they fighting for the top 10, but nope, they are the top 20 over there, fighting for something, especially over here with on the front of, let me see this guy, these two, Mason Mitchell, 15 down actually, is trying to recover something, but getting a little bit dark for him to come back to the action, but it's long race actually. It could be everything happen in the ninth stint. We're gonna hope have maybe 60 laps, and the next 60 laps. Sorry.
Luke Reed just getting out of everyone's way there. He came to pit road, get a new wing. He's 4 laps down, but he's on a slightly different, at least stop strategy now. But he stays out of everyone's way. Nice and clear. Nice guy there. Rashad Craig a little bit further up around Swearington. Rashad Craig not having a great start either. He is down 7 spots. He's in 26. Ty Quilla to the inside of Swearingen. Ty Quilla trying to get a position. Ty is up 11.
We didn't mention about the price, or maybe you did, or maybe I didn't hear that. But,
yeah, go ahead. The cash prize for the winner today. It's one of the higher cash prize pots that a winner can get throughout the entire league schedule for all the leagues and everything.
I remember having that cash prize for just Indianapolis or Indy 500 private league, but for the winner, $240 actually, $240. The second, $120. The third, 16. For the fourth position, 35, and the fifth is gonna get $25 bonus prize. So the pole series have 20. So
Robert Malechka's got the another what's it, $20 for him? Another like $20. Like what Robert needs after winning the PRI Hoosier 500, and he needs more money.
but it's $20 more race actually, so good for him. But
Indy Kirkenbauer, sorry, not talking about Robert, but Indy Kirkenbauer underneath Josh Ward looking for a position. 2 teammates running side by side for second and third. And I'm looking forward to this battle between the Prodigy and the Master. If the Prodigy can get up to Robert Malechka, this is Padawan versus Jedi Master up in the front, if we can see this battle happen. As Kirkenbauer finished on the podium here in the second edition of this race, he's trying to get around Ward and join Robert Malechka and take a battle for the lead. But the Indy Next Series Oval Champion giving a good showing right now. He's still looking for his first win in the series, and wouldn't it be a big one if he could beat this star-studded field here in the Votive Indy Derby? But here comes Clindy to the bottom side.
It's getting Clindy over there, and also Andy, really good performance in the Oval NXT Series. Also good performance for the Indy Light Series. The DRL did a good job over there, and but yeah, it's by time. Andy, don't burn your tires. We are in the 40 on the steam, so maybe in the 5 to 10 laps we're gonna see a lot of people coming to the pit. So
here you go, Julian. There's one of your camera shots. It's the Robbie Gordon cam over the Prodigy's shoulder as he sees the action in front of him between Clindy and Ward. And Clindy using the top side and the high side to get around Ward. And now Clindy is making an attack here at Robert Malechka. And we were talking about Padawan versus Jedi Master. Well, we have a budding and new Jedi Master in terms of Kyle Clinworth. And can he get up to Robert Malechka? And we get a bit of a 1v1 going on at the top of the front here for a battle for the lead between 2 real pros and 2 guys that have been champions no matter where they run and whatever league they're in now. And Clindy is a former Oval Series champion. Of course, Robert, former Oval Series champion in the iRacing many times over. But we're going to get ready to see a one-on-one Rocky-level bout here if Clindy can catch up to Robert, as we are lap 43 of 200, as we will get close to the first round of pit stops. And we have done this without a caution, Lewis. And again, these guys and gals have done a really good job and have been they're well behaved, got their P's and Q's under control. And we started this race off, and they could have bounced off one another, and there was some contact out there we heard about. But they waited, they got in line, they were patient, and once everyone got kind of spread out, then they decided to go racing. And here we are, still caution-free at lap 44.
Yeah, we have to knock the wood, because last race in June 8th, when Campbell won the race, we had six cautions that day. By 15 laps in each caution. So I hope we have a little less, but look like it's gonna be like that. But you know, it could be a big warning over here when it's coming everyone to the pits and see. It's gonna be kind of worry about it, because the exit on the pit on this track is really tough.
Yes,
and
it is.
Especially when they come into the pit, you have to brake. The car is going up. You talking about the hybrid stuff. It's not braking like before, and they have to be aware about this.
Yes, this is, you mentioned a very good point. This is the first time in a points-paying race here in the Votive Indy Oval Series that they get a chance to use this new hybrid power unit, which basically gives them a battery boost of speed. Watching this battle a little bit further back, Estrada, Brashear, Hobson, Coker, 3 wide off the corner, almost 4 wide off the corner. In the middle, Brashear up 18 spots. That was Logan Edwards in the middle, so we got 2 Luke Mansky cars teaming up here. But these drivers using the hybrid for the first time, so there's 2 ways that you could regen the hybrid. Well, there's one way you could use it. You could deploy it by pushing a button, just like the push to pass that we would have on road courses, and it's good for about a 1.5 second boost. So maybe you use it going into the corner so you can just get in a position of a pass. Maybe you use it coming off the corner so you can get a good run to defend. You can use it any way you want to, but in order to regenerate that power...
Oh, no. Oh, Adam Blocker have a meatball flag.
Meatball flag, Adam Blocker with Durazo. Durazo is missing a right front wing plane as Adam Blocker's coming to pit road, and what happened?
He lost on the turn 2, and have a contact with the. Oh my God! I don't know. It's not here. It's more on the back.
We'll see what happened.
He have a contact with Durazo on turn 3 and 4.
Now we got a replay of it here, and Durazo gets a run. Okay. Looks like maybe Blocker got up into the wall, washed up in a little bit in the wall, and Durazo was there. And unfortunately, the closing rate slammed the door, and Durazo loses the front wing. But in process, it looks like Blocker. Oh, look how Lucy gets there. Blocker is damaged either from the contact with Durazo or from the contact with the wall. Don't know yet.
My God.
But he's on pit road.
Also, you have an incident, Shane Coker in the turn 4 with Tony Estrada. Tony Estrada have a bit flag also too.
So Estrada, Estrada with injury. He's coming to the back with damage, not an injury. Here's Coker. Now we're gonna start probably have scheduled pit stops now, as Clindy is now the leader, as everything was happening as that incident was happening.
Yeah, Maletka is coming out to the pits. Shadid is coming to the pit. Brendan Lindsenberg is ready dead, so it's good to go. Yeah, that's for now. Ryan Campbell's coming to the pit actually now. Exit to the pit actually.
All right, so let's see what happened with Estrada here. Oh, wow. Coker just kind of came right up into him a little bit. And damage to Estrada's car. Estrada was on the high side. I don't think he was expecting that, and I don't think Coker was expecting Estrada to be there.
Yeah, it was really unfortunately unlucky, because we're talking about the clean race, clean, no yellow, no this, no that, and we almost called one yellow. Chris Alvarez have a black flag speeding on the pits.
That's unfortunate for the pole sitter of the Elite Racing League Indy 500. Watching Mason Mitchum started on the front row and got a chance to lead a little bit, so maybe he was trying to hit a number. He is coming down pit road. But the race lead now gets turned over to Jacob Oster. Oster, Edwards, Hobson, Quilla, Povolonis, Rashad Craig, Marquez Swearingen, O'Donohue, and Jacob Collins have still yet to stop. And remember where they started, they all started towards the rear of the field. They very much might be all on the same type of strategy. So again, going back to what I was talking about with the hybrid, when you use it, you need to regen it in order to use it again. So there's two ways you can regen on the hybrid. When you brake, and this is what we're watching Oster here, that's going to regen the hybrid power unit a little bit. Ooh, big twitch there. And there's also a button or a lever you can pull on your car to also regen the hybrid, just using your motion to regen. But that causes a little bit of drag. So when do you use the regen on the oval when you don't have really many opportunities to slow down or to brake? So those are always the questions. Those are the two things. So drivers are learning how to deploy this type of new technology on these cars that has been in place in the real IndyCar series for about a season and a half now. And it's different on every track. Every track's a little bit different. Like Indianapolis, you could use the hybrid almost twice a lap. Here, you might be able to only use it once a lap. So, or maybe 1.5, maybe you get a partial burn someplace. But, there's times where you could use the better places to use the regen than others, like specifically in the draft, as we watch Rashad Craig come to pit road to give up the lead. Also right behind him, Swearingen coming to pit road. But that's going to turn the lead of this race back over to Robert Malechka. So, again, watching the use of the hybrid unit here, these drivers all have at their disposal, and it's for the very first time here in the Votive Indy Oval Series that these drivers get to really use it in anger in a points-paying race.
Something did good, Robert Malechka.
Yeah, he has a huge lead.
He is 3 seconds ahead. 3 seconds ahead of Clendy and Josh Ward. 3.2 now, actually.
Yes, he had a heck of a pit stop. He was on pit road, 37.4 total seconds, in the box for 9.4. Clendy, conversely, who is 3.2 seconds behind, in the box or in pit road, 38.1 versus Malechka's 37.4, and in the box 10.1. So on the lane slower, in the box longer, and that equates to a big lead for Robert Malechka. But right now, Robert not racing with anybody. He is all by himself, whereas Clendy has a little bit of help from Josh Ward, and maybe they can work together and reel in Malechka. But Clendy has dropped the lead under 3 seconds a couple of times. Malechka, though, racing with Jacob Collins. Now, Collins is a teammate to Clendy. I don't know if he's a direct teammate because there are team size limits that you can work with one another here in Votive. But I'm sure if Collins sees Clendy is the next car back, that maybe he's not going to stick out there and be as cooperative to Robert as maybe the next guy would.
Yeah, actually, Robert is, they have a clean air on front. They have a lap down on the back. Is Jacob Collins tried to make the pass. If you want to, you can do it for sure. But Clendy have on front, actually, it is close. It's 2.5. But the problem is he burned too much tire to catch Malechka, tried to make the attempt to keep the lead or take the lead, and then the tire, when you have maybe three or 10 to go for the next pit stop, your tire is gone. So Robert Malechka is gonna take it once again. So that's unfortunate. Adam Blocker, DNF. So he decided to retire the car.
So one of the promoter options to make the lineup, unfortunately, going to finish 42nd today. If you enjoy P1's coverage of the Votive Indy Oval Series and respect the stream, please do us a solid. Make sure you support us by subscribing. And while you're at it, don't forget to smash like and click the bell so you don't miss out on future P1 iRacing broadcasts. Today's fourth running of the Votive Indy Derby is presented to you by Loverns Incorporated. Loverns provides professional services in renovation, remodeling, painting, and mold removal for government, commercial, and residential projects. For a quote or to learn more, like them on Facebook or to visit their website at lovernsinc.com today. The link is in the description. I want to thank Tom for being a presenting sponsor of this race and checking us out tonight if he's watching from home. Robert Malechka is your leader at lap 66 at 200. First round of pit stops is complete. Clindy, second spot, and Clindy has sure run that lead down. He has halved it.
Yeah, it's getting close. Clindy with that actually is Collins. Jacob Collins helped Clindy to back up a little bit to Robert. Now Clindy is 1.4 behind, 1.3 now behind on Robert Malechka. So it's getting close for the battle.
We're riding with Clindy, the two-time and defending series champion here at the Votive Indy Oval Series. Riding with the number one. Remember that very tight points battle he had a couple of seasons ago, and then last season managed to close it out with a race to go. So he's won them close and won them by kind of Alex Poloing the whole field. Malechka is the leader. Clindy second now as he's cut the lead to 1.4 seconds, and he is now within the draft window of Malechka. If he can feel any of it, right now he's in the draft envelope of that is right in front of him. That is Shane Coker. Coker staying high, but he's going to Clay's going to be able to use the draft down the front straight, this curved front straight here at Kentucky Speedway, D-shaped intermediate oval, mile and a half. Josh Ward is in third. Kirkenbauer, Prodigy, Indy and his dad. We have a father-son lineup here, just like Big Al and Little Al. We got Indy Kirkenbauer, Clay Kirkenbauer in the lineup. Where is Clay? Clay is 26th right now. He's up 15 spots. He's had himself a pretty good day. Jacob Oster in 5th, Seb Alexander 6th, Ryan Campbell 7th, Mark Murphy 8th, Chris Stouffer 9th, Butch Davis in 10th. Good to see Butch again. Mark Murphy, former winner here in the first edition of this race. Ryan Campbell in 7th spot. They're in the same, they're right next to each other for position right now. Let's get back, take a look there. As Kirkenbauer goes around Ward, so move the Prodigy back up to the podium. But go back a little bit further. Campbell and Murphy, two former winners here. All these guys, one form or another, might not be in direct comms, but they're all working together. That's an IAR, 2 IAR entries and a Rogue Racing entry. They are under a technical partnership here in the iRacing INDYCAR community. They might not be in comms with one another, but they are certainly know each other well enough that they give each other a little bit of room. Anna Klimek. And that is getting around, unfortunately, Tony Strada. Antonio, 4 laps down, unfortunately had damage, had to get it fixed. And the guy that did so well here and was doing pretty well to start this race, we got a bit of a hip check, unfortunately, from Shane Coker. We'll see how the stewards rule on that one. It could have been just a racing deal. We don't know. But Tony Estrada did so well here a season ago, is now just kind of running it out in 40th spot, kind of hoping for a little bit of attrition to happen out there. 2 plain white wrappers, or mostly plain white wrappers, side by side. This is for 35th, Jacob Collins, Ryan O'Donoghue. Ryan O'Donoghue, one of the drivers we see on our Thursday and Friday night AMA. That's American Motorsports Association NASCAR coverage. Brought to you by Mark Murphy, doing the color commentary on that. Their season getting ready to start. But Ryan jumping into an IndyCar in a rare opportunity. And he is in 36th. The last car on the lead lap, and look who's right behind him. Robert Malechka.
Yeah, it's getting close to make one more car down. Actually, it's going to make the car down of, like you said, 35, 36 over there between Collins and Donoghue. But I think Clendy is stopping 7/10 to make the pass, at least, but he's getting close to.
Yeah, and
sure.
They're not making it easy in front of Robert. They are side by side, battling for position, and they are not obliged to get out of the way, being that they are first fighting for position and second on the lead lap. They don't have to get out of the way. They're fighting for position and fighting to stay on the lead lap, so they are going to hang out as long as possible and hold off at Robert as long as possible. And in the meantime, Clendy getting closer and closer and closer. Clendy now 6/10 behind RM3.
Yeah, actually, they don't have to. Only the road course, they have a blue flag with 3/10 or 2/10. You have to make the pass if it's fast, for sure. Like a Collins, make the pass of Maleska because he make the pass and pretty good, and Maleska stay on the back. But he don't need to. Only for sure more sportsmanship. If it's fight to go and fighting for stay on the front. You can, but it's not like a mandatory for sure.
Watching out of the gearbox of Robert Malechka. Clendy now 4/10. Look at that sun. Certainly coming off a 2. At least it's at their back. They're not going to be able to see it. It shouldn't be that bright going down the front stretch. We'll look at what it looks like for the front of Robert's car. It's going to get a bit of a glare there in 3 and 4, but most of the front stretch under shade at the moment. Now, Robert could also be, back here saving fuel. We know he's pretty savvy, so he might just use this as an opportunity to save fuel. And it wouldn't be the first time, Lewis, that we've seen Robert save fuel.
Actually, yeah. Yeah, actually, you know what? It's like Indianapolis. You have to clinch the specific lap. The problem is when you don't clinch the specific lap and you come into 10 to go to come into the pit just for splash, it is like it's a cold air in your body. Like, oh my God, I really mess up. It happened to me. It's like I really have a confidence to finish on top 5 or maybe top 10 or maybe on the front.
Something happened to Andrew Wood.
Clendy.
Oh, sorry. Clendy's now caught the leader, and I was watching Andrew Wood did a blink in and out on the racing order. I saw someone dropping through the order, but he's in 31st back on the racetrack. But Clendy has caught our leader. And right there is Indy Kirkenbauer as well. This is a high-stakes battle between 3 drivers that have a lot of I rating.
That's, yeah, for sure. They have basically 5.6 Clendy and 7.7 is Robert. And 4.3 have an Indy on the back. But the number is really, it's just a number. It's just a victory. It's a good performance on the track. The thing is, you can have a 2-point something, and even you can win it the position or maybe win the race for the guys with 8 or 10. So it's no surprise if he Andy in the last 10 laps could be make.
Whoa!
Maybe. What if? That's
Whoa, Clendy! Oh, going a little bit of a fade there, going into 3. And I think we got Jacob decided to hold his line to help his teammate. And Clendy's like, hold your line, I'll come around you. Goes around him, he goes to the lead. And if I think if Jacob can get behind Clendy and slam the door, he might throw the dirty air onto Robert to maybe help Clendy pull away a little bit. And that's kind of what's happening as we move to the lead. Clendy, your new leader, but Jacob's like, nope. I'm going to go down and I want to at least get a chance to get my lap back here. Here comes Robert. You're looking at 2 drivers right here that are extremely good at Indianapolis. Remember, Clendy went 800 for 800 in terms of laps scheduled versus laps completed at Indianapolis during fixed Indy 500 weekend last May for iRacing. He was one of 2 drivers to do that. He won 2 of the top split Indy 500s. Robert Malechka is a former winner of that race as well. He's won the fixed and open Indy 500 top split, the broadcasted top split. Clendy's won 2 of the non-top broadcasted top splits. And the races that he didn't finish into on the podium, or he didn't win. He finished on the podium. That's what I'm trying to say. And now Clinton kind of moves away. Robert is the only driver that I know of, at least, who has won the both the top and a fixed and open top splits. Again, trying to say, and the PRI Hoosier 500 in December. That's kind of your triple crown of Indianapolis for the IndyCar community. So again, a lot of experience here. Robert, multiple times, I think a 3-time winner of the Elite Racing League's Indy 500. So many wins at Indianapolis between these two drivers right here in league and official competition. Some of the best oval racers, at least open wheel oval racers, that you're going to have on this entire sim. Find me people that are better and then put them in the lineup, because I would like to try to see them beat these guys, and I don't think they would. That is an open challenge, anybody listening, by the way. Prove me wrong. Lap 91 of 200, as watching a battle for the lead between defending series champion and Robert Malechka, the guy that makes the setups for the league, versus the guy that uses those setups and normally beats people in this league. And right behind them is Indy Kirkenbauer, the Indy Next Oval Series inaugural series champion. Ironically, right between them two is Jacob Collins, who called a number of his wins in that championship on P1 on Tuesday nights, right after our Indy Oval Series coverage.
I'm curious about how many times Robert won the Indy 500 Lionheart.
Battle between Anna Klimek and Mark Murphy for 8 spots. Klimek trying to pull off the pass. Winner last season at Iowa. Mason Mitchum, he's back in the battle. Mason Mitchum, at one point he was down in the 20s. He is back up in the 10th spot, and I'm wondering again what we were talking about earlier, Lewis. Maybe he's just trying to hit a number, because that next number for that next pit stop for a lot of these drivers, we're kind of in that window. We are about 6 laps away from lap 100, and a lot of those drivers started coming down pit road around lap 50. Remember, the opening stint here also included 2 pace laps. So we'll see if we have pit stops occurring as a 3-way battle for 8th position here. 8th, 9th, and 10th. Murphy, Klimek, and Mitchum 3 wide on the front straightaway. Just to give you an idea on stint length for our leaders, 41 laps for Clindy, 45 for Robert, 42 for Indy Kirkenbauer, 43 for Ward, 38 for Oster. He's going to be able to go the longest. 43 for Campbell, 41 for Seb, 42 for Murph. Actually, I can just do this here. Stint time. There we go. There you go. That just tells you all right there on the screen. I don't have to read it off anymore. Butch Davis lurking in the background there. Good to have Butch in the lineup. This is a guy I raced against back in the old offline leagues, back in the 90s for INDYCAR Racing 1 and 2. He's been around sim racing forever.
I used to drive with him and some of the leagues around. Remember, one of them is not anymore around. But yeah, I'm looking for a Lionheart. So Robert didn't win any Indy 500 in the Lionheart. So it's something, if Lionhearts come back, it could be, what if? You can make it over there. For sure, I see Adam Blocker winning, Alexa Newsom also too.
Yeah, and Alexa Newsom was the one that I remember that was really fantastic. Just did that, won the race, making one less stop than everyone else. Watching Sam Costner and Craig Forsyth and Chris Stouffer. This is a battle for 13th. Costner up 14 positions there in that livery that kind of really reminds me of the Pagano Menards car. And he has driven himself a good race. Started 27th, up to 13th. And not even to the halfway point yet. Side by side behind him, Bashir and Stouffer. There's a battle of 2 guys with a lot of experience in this car.
Yeah, I see the pass with Mason Mitchum and Mark Murphy. Gaining 1 more position is going for, because on front they have a Seb Alexander, Ryan Campbell, Oster, and then Ward. Ward is kind of far out there, but that's the next target for Mason Machon, now in 8th.
We got gaps right now on the screen. Klindy half second, now 6/10 over Malechka. Kirkenbauer 10th back. Grace you did.
And pit
road. Grace you did. Also Shane Coker on pit road. Scheduled stops. And it looked like the wheel wear on Shadid's car.
Brendan Litzenberg, black flag. Too fast. Ugh.
It looked like the wheel wear on Shadid's tires was pretty high. When he got new tires, it kind of smoothed out really quick. So looks like the right front is wearing pretty good here. We watch Lichtenberg, who's going to get a 40-second hold. Christopher looks like on pit road.
Yeah, 48 for Klindy, 49 for Andy. I think so.
And Indy got around Robert Malechka. Robert Malechka on pit road.
Oh, it's coming to the pit. Yeah. Coming now.
I don't think he got around him on the racetrack. I think he got around him on pit road. But Robert Malechka, remember, Robert really busted out to the lead and had to be run down by a really good pit stop. And his time on pit road and into the box was considerably faster than everybody else when he came back out on the racetrack. Now you see, look at that right front. And now he gets a new one, but that right front was well worn.
Oh, Seb Alexander, black flag also too.
Seb Alexander, the Oval Series champion, coming to pit road for a 40-second hold. And again, they could come to pit road directly off of turn 4, and you're going from, and I will show you what they're traveling right now. Here is their last laps, a 213 for Klindy. So they're going from 213 down to 45 miles per hour. Now, iRacing, if you're watching, I very much would like a variable pit road speed limit that I could change in the settings when I set up a session, because these cars very much should not be doing 45 down pit road in a race that has them over 200 miles per hour on the racetrack. I'd like to see it more in the neighborhood of 50, 55, maybe even 60 like they do at Indianapolis. That might be a little bit better, but right now it's 45 for anybody that uses the racetrack, and the racetrack is really modeled for stock cars, so that's kind of what it's modeled for. Klindy in pit road right now. Watch him go up on the jacks, gets to pit road safely, no caution, no black flags. See coming around the pit road right now with him is Craig Forsyth, also on pit road. Coming off of pit road, I believe, is Antonio Estrada, which is a teammate to Klindy, and he'll be able to help each other draft now coming up to speed. Mason Mitchum, though, back to being the leader.
Great Forsyth, like a dirty drift or Tokyo drift or whatever. Hold the brakes and save it for the black flag. So good job for him and coming to the pits now in 16. Oh, exit. Actually.
He's exiting pit road right now. Lap 107 at 200. Mason Mitchum started on the front row. He went all the way to the back almost. And just stayed out longer than everyone else on that. One of the drivers that stayed out longer than everybody else.
Tyquilla, black flag.
Oh, another black flag. Tyquilla, the rookie of the year at the PRI Hoosier 500, finished 4th. Gets a black flag. Winner at Pocono 2 seasons ago here in the series. And Mason Mitchum on pit road.
It is difficult to break the car. Even, I don't know. I don't rating yet this car for the new generation they have now, but I think even to clinching the brake vias to the front could be make the car stop. I don't know. It is really
well.
tough.
The car with the new hybrid, because there's different weight on the car now. The car handles differently under rapid deceleration. So that's one thing you got to get used to. And then on top of everything, you got to get on your rev limiter. You got to make sure that you're not cutting through all the pit stalls and everything. You got to get in the right lane. You got to look for your marks. You got to listen for your crew chief. All the while, you also got to make sure that your black box settings are correct, that you are going to put a full fuel and change all the tires and everything, because the last thing you want to do is come in for a pit stop in the middle of the race and say fuel only. because you'll definitely need tires. So you'll see a lot of, there's a lot to do on pit road when you slow these things down, not just bringing it down to 45 miles per hour. So you got your hands full. Right now with hands full is Logan Edwards coming to pit road, as he needs to slow down as he lights up the tires, but he slows them down coming to pit road. That will turn the lead over to Rashad Craig. Lyle Swearingen, he is going to pick up second. And Robert Malechka is back to being the net leader when all these pit stops are gone. And Clendy, again, having to run him down. Clendy about second, 1.3 behind as we're been maintaining kind of the last lap turn here for a lot of these drivers. We'll go back to intervals here. There you go. Top 9 on the lead lap at the moment.
By the way, Nico Opster, 220.2 miles per hour, fastest lap now.
There you go, 220 flat, or 220.2 for the Worm Man on those new tires in the draft right there behind Jacob Collins.
Robert is going to take the lead by 1.1 over the Clendy. So once again, here's something better.
Battle on the racetrack. Kirkenbauer, Josh Ward. Battle between two teammates with lap traffic in the middle. I believe that's Luca Tedesco, one of my broadcast partners. And he stays high, lets the leaders on by. And then right in front of them is Brendan Lichtenberg, who's out a lap, unfortunately, because of the 40-second hold he had. And a lap here at Kentucky, just in case you're wondering, the fastest lap is Oster with a 24.5. So it's about a 24.5-second lap. So a 40-second hold is going to put you down at least 2 laps. And I think he's down 2 laps, so he's almost down 3. But, look at all this traffic right down this point on the racetrack. Side by side, Lichtenberg and Kirkenbauer. Ward and Kirkenbauer. This is for a battle for third, as Kirkenbauer then powers ahead of Ward and is now in third spot. On the racetrack up front, it is Malechka. Right behind him is Jeff Heisong, winner in the Dark Horse Series. Klendworth. He's right there in that neighborhood. A lot of traffic. And in case you're wondering, the attrition rate, only 2 cars right now show out of the race. Adam Blocker in 42nd, Ty Quilla, who's retired, in 41st. So we still have 40 cars out there. Previous to today, the most that have started the race in the votive. Caution! Josh Ward! One of our leaders.
Oh, have a contact with Linsenberg?
No, I think it's Oster.
Oster. Oh.
So we caught that halfway through. Let's check it out again. Oh, I don't know how to call that. Oh, geez, if that was a real hit in real racing, that would have been almost feet first into the wall. That would have been a very vicious hit. Good thing this is sim racing, but we'll go again. Look at this. We'll do it from, we're going to go back 20 seconds before the impact. We're going to look at Jacob Oster here, and I think what happens here is he's going to get to the inside here going into 1. But I think what happens is this car goes to the bottom and dirty air. And so we're going to slide underneath, and the dirty air is just going to, because you see him kind of turning to keep the car down, and the car just in the meantime keeps going up the racetrack. So I think dirty air from that car in front on the wake of the dirty air just was not hitting the front of that car right, and he washes up a little bit into Ward, and that's what it seems like to me. Chat, you can make a ruling on that, and I know Race Control probably will have to. But that brings this race under its first caution, and we're only at lap 119, so it's a good time for everybody to come in. The stints were not very long for everybody, but it's long enough for people like, I want to come down and get new tires now. So we'll reset the field here for you momentarily as we see a number of cars out in front of the leader. The current leader right now, after everyone came to pit road, is Indy Kirkenbauer, the prodigy. In front of him is Cody Cavaco and Rafi Leon. They will get the wave around. Cavaco is shown 1 lap down, so he'll stay on the end of the 1 lap. And same thing with, where is Rafi there? Rafi actually will get back on the lead lap here, so that's why he's staying out. But Kirkenbauer is first. Klimek is second. Klimek is going to have a couple cars in front of her and Kirkenbauer. She's going to have Luca Tedesco, Brendan Liftenberg, and Shane Coker. So there's a little bit of a buffer up to Kirkenbauer. Then back to Klimek, then Mason Mitchum, who, remember, has a pretty good recovery drive. He is now third on the racetrack after this round of just really staying out and getting some track position under this pit stop, because a lot of people came to pit road. He is third, and he is directly behind Klimek. That will be a direct battle for position when we go green. Logan Edwards right behind Mitchum, but between Mitchum and Edwards is the 31 of Ryan O'Donoghue. So again, another lap car there that is a little bit of a buffer for Mitchum. Casey Povolonis, who we haven't really mentioned his name at all, Lewis, at all. He is up 28 spots. He started 33rd, and just by virtue of staying out, picking up some track position, he is in 5th. Kostek Solej, my fellow Polish brother, he is in 6th. And he has 1 win and a big league racing action level in the in the VOR Indy Oval Championship. No, it's not Indy Oval, the VOR INDYCAR Championship, which I broadcast. And he won last season at Road Atlanta and finished 3rd in that championship. He is currently 6th on the racetrack. Clendy, who did come to pit road. He is the first of everybody that came in at 119. He is going to be your effective net leader on the prime strategy. Then it's Robert, Rashad Craig, Jacob Oster, Mark Murphy, Ryan Campbell, Craig Forsyth, the other cars that came to pit road on that pit stop. But your leader on the restart here, pace car is off here as we're going to go restart and go racing again at lap 121. 120 coming to 121 no. As we have Povolonis has a bad restart.
Yeah, Logan Edwards have a bad restart. That's making all this accordion. I think somebody jumping.
We're gonna go back and reset that. So Edwards.
Casey Povolonis have an incident. They have a
big incident. Big incident. The car's still going through the corner, I think we got Robert Malechka involved. Robert Malechka is involved. Our pull center. And Casey just kind of loses it on his own, goes up and takes out 2 of the power slide cars. The team hype cars involved is Oster, Malechka, Logan Edwards. But we got to go back to the start. We got to go back to the start because I think everything happened there. And the start is Logan Edwards was flashing. And I right when we go green, I don't think Povolonis knew where Robert was or where Logan was. Kostek Solej gets into the back of Casey. Nobody, I don't think, got a black flag there because I think the pass that I just saw performed by Seb on the outside was legal. So now I think we might have a damaged car from Casey Povolonis, and he just turns down into the corner. And watch the back end. Sir. Just watch the back end right in front of Clendy. Right in front of Clendy. Well, not yet. It's going to be the other end of the racetrack. Let's watch from this Clinton. No, Clendy's going to be passing. So we'll just keep it on Casey here as we go into the corner. Now he's fully up to speed. And this instant brake right here, that tells me there's something broken on the car. That there was enough downforce to hold the car through 1 and 2, not enough downforce to hold it in 3 and 4, and an oversteer. And just look, AJ Hobson squeaks through. He might have had a little contact. Trey Shadid had to shoot the gap there. Where is Trace here? I want to watch that camera angle. Let's watch that from Trace Shadid's point of view. Watch Trace. We'll watch it at full speed, and we'll bring up the timing and scoring here. Just say everything right in front of him. Oh, and everyone just starts coming down the racetrack. Oh my goodness. He just was hoping that there wasn't a car there. There was just too much smoke.
Oh, how about another car with contact? I don't know who it was, but yeah, like you said, it's drop. A.J. Hobson is out of the race also too with the wheel gone on front of him. Yeah, it's the contact made by your fellow Polish. Make the contact of on Povolones, and then happen all this stuff.
So everything, kind of what you saw there, was a result of what happened at the beginning, and it was really Povolones taking evasive action to not end up inside of a rematerializing, and we've talked about it before, how I equate when you flash in iRacing to a transporter incident in Star Trek. You don't want to rematerialize inside of a brick wall or a cement wall or inside of a mountain. You've seen what happens when it happens in Star Trek. Same thing here. You rematerialize inside of a car and everything becomes solid. It becomes a wreck. And that's kind of what he was avoiding. And then right behind him, Soul Wedge, who looks like he's fine. He's in 5th spot, is forgiven, but gets into the back of Povolones, causes enough damage that by the time Povolones' car was at enough speed where he needed that downforce performance, was damaged, instant oversteer going into turn 3, and just cars in the neighborhood, including our early leader, Robert Malechka, and Jacob Oster, got collected as a result. So a lot of those names that were invited as promoter options not having good days. They're either out of the order right now or down in the order right now because of speeding on pit road in the case of Lichtenberg. So we're getting ready to go green here again at lap 124, coming to 125. The prodigy Indy Kirkenbauer is the leader after caution at an incident started by Casey Povolones. But we are back green flag. Anna Klimek second. Mason Mitchum third, Glendy fourth, and he is racing right now Seb Alexander, who is currently a lap down. So this is just for position on the racetrack. And Kostik Solwedge in 5th. Well, I got to tell you, though, Luce, that really changes the outcome of this race. I mean, this changes almost everything. And with some of those big names out, we have no Blocker. We have no Malechka. We have no Oster. So, I mean, the last 2 big community races we had was won by Oster and won by Malechka. They are no longer here. So we're going to see a new community winner, race winner, unless it's Murph or Campbell, who might get a second win here, but we might see a new community race winner here today by virtue of just a little bit of bad luck for some of those racers here a couple laps ago.
Yeah, I think it could be even in Andy or maybe Anna Klimek or Mason Mitchum come back for there, but we cannot put down of Brian Campbell. It's there in the 7th. With the 6, is there actually 7 over there, 6, 7 matching with Mason Mitchum, but we have 73 to go, a lot to do. Glendy take the lead once again, but everything gonna happen in just one lap. Thinking about it now, we saw Malechka, Oster out, so. A lot of can happen in 10 laps.
And we were talking about it. Here comes Murph. Here comes Campbell, 4th and 5th. Former winners here on a roll. They see the front and they can start to sniff a win as we are now 70 to go. Anna Klimek, third spot. Looking for her second win here in this series. Here's Klindy on the outside of Kirkenbauer. Taking a peek, goes back down to the racetrack, gets a little bit of that draft. He's going to take a shot going into 3 and 4, Lewis. Can he hold on to the bottom?
He can hold at the bottom, but I think the tire is pretty... You have a 12 more than...
His tires are a lot fresher.
Gamble will stay out.
Yeah. Kirkenbauer stayed out. Remember, he stayed out under the last stop. He last pitted on lap 107. Klindy came in at 119 under this last caution. Oh, 4 wide right behind him. Klimek, Murphy, Campbell, Mitchum. Oh, excuse me, not in there. That's Seb Alexander, not Mitchum. Mitchum's just a car length behind. There's a good battle. Craig Forsyth, and he just cleared Rashad Craig. So battle of the Craig. Sam Costner now up in the top 10. Good race for him, up 19 spots. Rashad Craig up 10. So here's your positions gained. I don't think I have a graphic on that, but I can tell you, Klindy up 16, Kirkenbauer up 6, Campbell up 10, Klimek up 12, Murphy up 1, so he kind of started up front, fell to the back, but recovered a little bit. Mason Mitchum's the only one that's down positions, and the only reason he's down positions, he started on the front row, but he's still up in the lead group here in the top 10. He's in 6th spot. Craig Forsyth finished second twice in this race, and is looking like another podium finish for him today with a good effort. He is in 7th, up 8 spots. Costner up 19, Butch Davis up 12. Rashad Craig, well, he just lost the position to Kostic. Kostic up 17. Rashad Craig up 9. So a lot of these drivers that have worked their way up to the front have clawed their way there, Lewis. I mean, they just haven't driven their way there. They have clawed their way up there.
Yeah, actually, for the yellow flag, for the Gamble stay on the front, they have all this position. But like I just said, Mission is he was in 14, 15 down. Now he coming to the once again to the top 5, top 10 to battle over there. And like I said, Campbell is in there and in the tails of on the Klindy. Even I think Seb Alexander want to come back with the lap, but I don't know if he helped Klindy, but at least he's doing something. But the battle is pretty good over there for the victory. 64 to go.
Butch Davis, Rashad Craig. A lot of IndyCar starts between these two. Further back, Solwich, Durazo. All right, behind that battle as well. Ray Shadid, side by side with Chris Stouffer. Simpson back in the neighborhood as well. Haven't mentioned his name very much today. Right in front of them. I think the lone power slide effort right now, that's Andrew Wood. He is a lone power slide driver, I think, in this race. The catalyst. And he's up 20 spots to 14th. Caleb Brashear right in front of him, up 25 to 13th.
Man, that's a lot of spots over there. But yeah, you're right, it's 14. And he still have a lot of time to come into the front, but it could be maybe one more yellow to maybe have a gamble stay on the front like Andy did, or all these guys, Andy, Mitchum, Anna Klimek. But I think the tire is getting gone. But at least Andy's still battle on the front and try to find the clean air to keep it on the tail of all these guys.
And Rick Ray Vaughn says Davis is coming. And yes, Davis is coming. We will watch Davis. Davis was long time snake bitten at the Indy 500. Finally won a big league Indy 500 race. Got that monkey off his back. Been a couple years now looking for another big prime time win for Big Butch. There in that STP livery. We side by side right in front of him. Forsyth and Costner. This is for 7th. Right in front of them. Mason Mitchum moves ahead of Anna Klimek. Move Mason Mitchum up to 5th. Everybody, wherever you turn your head on this racetrack, there is a battle for position just about everywhere you look. Even a battle back for 19th and 20th. Lovern and Rafi Leon battling it out for a top 20. Campbell blinking out, but moves ahead of Kirkenbauer. He's in third. Now he's going to take a look to the high side of Mark Murphy. Murphy's worked his way up to second. And Murphy has a little bit of a wingman up there. That's Seb Alexander. Seb looking to get, I think, effectively back on the lead lap. Is that it? Yes, Seb gets by. He's on the lead lap. That's 26th position. So if we go caution right now, Seb gets back on the lead lap. Clindy might just like to stay behind and get some fuel mileage, but no, he's going to pull to the outside. So, Lewis, I guess the first thing I want to think about right now is Indy Kirkenbauer, who stopped that lap 107 last, has had a couple of stints of caution as we are a diamond formation, battle for the lead, and to the bottom, Mark Murphy, the winner of the very first Indy Derby. He goes to the point, but I got to begin to wonder now, the window to open. The window is getting ready to open to get to the finish here in about 6 laps, give or take. Does Indy Kirkenbauer run this thing dry and then come to pit road? Or does he come with about 50 to go, try to undercut everybody and see if he can get a big one? We go 4 wide into turn 3. Whoa. And you know what? I think Kirkenbauer might have backed out of that thinking better of it. But what do you think? Come to pit road immediately or wait till you're dry?
No, wait for to dry because he's gonna be a little bit short. He did 54 last time. We are 55. Waited a little bit more. Waited for maybe with 45, 40 to go to come into the pit and have a fresh
3
tire.
wide, and Murphy here's you're in the middle, and Kirkenbauer tries to go to the top. Murph says, not so fast, my friend. They're going to drag race off the corner, and here comes Clindy on the high side, slams the door and takes the position. Now going in the one side by side with Indy Kirkenbauer. Indy Kirkenbauer's got to believe, and at some point he's got to come to pit road at some point, so he doesn't want to give up the bottom of the racetrack. He'll need to get on the pit road, and he can't do it from 3 lanes high. So he is going to go to the front and stay at the front of the minute. Now we're going to go a battle between Clindy and Murphy for second. Now they get back in line, and here comes Anna Klimek, who's worked her way back up the 4th.
Yeah, very good job. And Andy, Anna Klimek is getting there. I think they have they have a good chance for all these guys to at least battle for the victory on the end. But like I said, always we said this, everything gonna happen. Thinking about it, 50 to go, 10 to go. We have a sprint race for the victory.
Yeah, typically when we're here for the Indy Fix Series, it's 75 laps, and we are in that window. And in Indy Fix Series, it's pretty much a sprint with 1 pit stop. And we are in that window watching Craig Forsyth and Mason Mitchum, Sam Costner. Everybody's together now. Let's go back. Kirkenbauer is your leader. Clindy's second. Murph in third. Then we got Klimek, the deer car, right there in 4th. Campbell getting underneath. Seb slides up and is clear. So the top 5 all together. Clindy to the bottom of the racetrack, going for P1, sliding up a little bit, going to 3 and 4. They're going to drag race off the corner. Clindy comes up, gets back into position behind Kirkenbauer on the attenuator. Kirkenbauer looking for his first win here in the regular season of the Votive Indy Oval Series. He's come home second a number of times here in a dark horse, and has said a number of times, I want that win. Does he get it today in a big community race for the Indy Next Series champion on the ovals? But not so fast, my friend. Here comes Clindy to the bottom. The Indy Oval Series former champion, 2-time defending series champion here. Votive says, I'm taking that position back. A little bit further on back, Costner is in position now with the 3-wide battle, but now that has settled out, and that's Mason Mitchum down low. Battle between teammates. You got to give your teammate a little bit of extra room.
Yeah, I assuming Andy need to come into the pit in the next 10 laps or 9 laps. Same for Anna Klimek. She should be coming in the next 9 laps. So fingers crossed for these 2 guys, because if it's not, it could be have a yellow flag and game over for these 2. So fingers crossed. That's the only disadvantage when you stay out and it's coming to the green flag to the end. Or maybe when you come into the pit, you have a green flag and then you have a yellow and all of this strategy and gamble get to the garbage.
Well, I think everyone needs to come to pit road one more time. But the earliest coming to pit road is Kirkenbauer, Anna Klimek, Mason Mitchum, Caustic Soul Edge. They all stopped at lap 107, 109, somewhere in there. They'll come to pit road. They will make their final stop. They will be done for the race. But the problem is, and we've already seen, but we're getting into the twilight hours here, and here's your weather conditions. The track tip has come down, but the tire wear has been pretty aggressive here on this racetrack, and we have not seen a lot of caution. We've seen caution here in the middle portion of the race. Maybe we won't see any more at the end. We don't know. It's hard to tell. But if you come to pit road now for your final stop, you're still going to have tires left in the pit, but you're going on. If you decide to stop now and say, I'm not stopping anymore, then you're going to be on well-worn Firestones at the end of this race, while people like Clindy, people like Mark Murphy, people like Ryan Campbell, Costner, Craig, those guys, they're going to come to pit road and they're going to have fresher tires than you in the end of this race.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, but I think the weather condition is make. Even now, I can tell you now, Andy have a 49 and Clendy have a 37, and it's still side by side, and it's still Andy went back to the front again, even with that. So I think he maybe clinched or found it, or maybe found a way actually to put the good tires and warm tires and not reheated the tires to stay on the front. But at least he did make a good job to find the place to don't have that stuff.
And that could be possible why Clindy really isn't racing Kirkenbauer too incredibly hard to get the lead and pass him, because he knows that Kirkenbauer or he should know, maybe he doesn't, but he should know that Kirkenbauer and Klimek both need to come to pit road here very shortly.
Yeah, maybe you're right. And also, the other stuff is like, what if, I don't want to say it's happened this, but what if it's Mark, or maybe what if it's Mason, or what if it's Seth, even Seth can be hit me and have a bad damage and put me back to the field. It's a lot of if. But like you're right, actually, it's really true about that. They're going to come in soon to the pit. But if it coming before to yellow, they're going to stay on the front. They're going to start to front zero, because if it's coming to yellow now and everyone's coming to the pit, they don't need to stop once again.
Well, leaders right now look like 3 strikeouts on the baseball score sheet. A K, and a K. That is a quick inning for a pitcher right there. 3 strikeouts. It is Kirkenbauer, Clindy, and Klimek. And right behind him is Mark Murphy, old double M, old and slow, and Mason Mitchum. So we got a battle of the M&Ms for 4th and 5th. But I'm pretty sure that Murphy is the M&M with the peanut in it.
Hold it. Andy on the pit now.
Kirkenbauer coming to pit road. Trying to get the battle.
Klimek, one more lap.
Craig Forsyth coming to pit road. Craig Forsyth stopped last. He stopped at 160. Well, he is at 161. He stopped last not too long ago. So he is actually kind of following the leader here. A little strategy for Craig Forsyth. He's down and away. He's going to have a shorter fill. And he's going to get right up the Kirkham. This is a good call. What do you think about Forsyth coming to pit road now?
I think it's a good call, because anyways, you have to come into the pit. Even I prefer to come into the pit by myself and not with all these groups. So I think Craig Forsyth did a good job.
Oh, Craig had a good exit off the pit road too. He is right with Kirkenbauer, and he's going to go underneath him.
That's a not good view, or maybe good result for Andy, because he have to come into the pit. Anna Klimek calling now to the pit.
Anna Klimek off the banking, down onto the apron, getting down to the 45 miles per hour pit road speed limit after doing 212. Car squirrely, that is Stouffer. He caught it though. Chad Simpson on pit road for his final stop. So looks like the 4D guys have decided to take the idea and stop now. And Chad Simpson with the Satellite Racing coming to pit road right now for his final stop. Also right behind the graphic, I believe that is Shane Coker, who has a black flag coming to pit road for his final stop. And you got to hate that. You get this far into the race, and then all of a sudden you speed on your last stop.
Yeah, that's pretty sucks, actually.
Clindy right behind one of his teammates. That's Cody Cavaco. He can use him a little bit for the draft, but not one of his teammates in battling for position. And he started up front, and now he's looking to get his first net gain in a while as Mason Mitchum started second, runs second, and he is right on the attenuator of Clindy.
Look at this point. Anna Klemek is in front on the Andy. I know it's battle with all of these three guys, Collins and Estrada in front. But Andy's over there. He's getting close to
three. Klemek wanted that position, and both the row guys were not necessarily letting her through. The row guys are battling, I believe they're actually battling for position. That's 32nd and 33rd. Collins and Estrada, they're both 4 laps down, so they're actually battling for position. Campbell coming to pit road, or coming off of pit road.
Ooh,
Glindy gets to pit road. No penalty for him. This is his final stop. He saw people coming to pit road. He stopped not too long ago, only 13 laps, and he's like, well, it's going to be a short fill.
So Anna Clement and Andy have to push hard to at least getting on the front, but they have a lot of cars on the around to them. To actually nobody around to him. But let's see what happened now. It's Glendy coming out. Actually, Sexy to the pit now.
IAR boys up front, Murphy and Craig. So they are going to work together for the remainder of this. No, they're not. Here comes Murphy. He's calling quits now, and so is Durazo.
Oh my God! Ooh, that's close. Glendy forgot about Craig Forsyth. Almost have a contact in the turn 3.
Check this out. Clindy underneath Forsyth. And this is actually a battle for position, so he really wants this. And he is going to get a run here on the corner. Looks like on the high side, and I'm not sure if Craig was expecting him to get rocketing up there, but here goes. Oh, he gave enough of the bottom, and Clindy just took it. Glindy, purple lap, a 2:20.3, the man on the move. Rashad Craig coming to pit road. Final stop.
And Anna Klemek must to make all the passes. It doesn't matter. It just going, burn the tire, try to take all of the draft you have for Albrecht, and then you have Leon over there. Try to do it because Clendy is coming strong. And is going for Andy for the second place, virtually for the second place now.
So after that pit stop, Klemek comes out as the leader. She will be the net leader. Caleb Brashear is the leader on the racetrack. And Brashear and Wood, a little bit of a swapping for positions. They're kind of hoping and hanging on for a caution here. But they are due to come to pit road anytime. They last stopped at lap 119. They are 13 and 18 laps respectively. And here comes Brashear, here comes Wood. So they both could not make it. They're going to come to pit road now. Gary Lovern in the background coming to pit road. Jeff Heisong staying out. Heisong stopped at lap 124. He is, and actually, he's only 5 laps into his stint. So he's your net. I think he might be done for the race. He might be your net leader right now, Lewis. No, his current stint is 51, so that's right. He needs to come to pit road here very shortly. Same thing with Leon. Leon's coming to pit road right now. I was looking at the wrong column once again. So 52 for Heisong. Heisong needs to come to pit road top off. So he, regardless any way you look at it, he needs to come to pit road to top off. 25 to go, and he might be lining up for that position right now. And right behind him, that is Anna Klemek, who will look to get the lap back. Yeah. Heisong coming to pit road. Leon coming to pit road. Luca Tedesco Is he going to come to pit road? No, Luca's going to stay out. Luca last stopped now 52 laps into his stint. He last stopped on 124.
By the way, we have to say thank you to all the people watching today. Really, really a lot of people watching this race. We have 24 to go, and really thank you. We over the 80 people watching now this race, with Clendy take the lead over the Andy and Anna Clement virtually, because Luca Tedesco is in the front now.
Yeah, once again, if you're just joining us as we watch Clendy, Indy, and Anna battling for what will be the effective race lead once Tedesco comes to pit road. You're just watching us. This is P1's coverage of round 1 of 9 of the Votive Indy Oval Series, coming to you from Kentucky for the 4th running of the Votive Indy Derby, where we have now completed, well, we got 23 laps to go. Right now, your leader is Kyle Clinworth, your 2-time and defending series champion. Make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on the next race. The next race here for the Indy Oval Series, or for the Votive Indy Oval Series, will be in 2 weeks on Sunday, January 25th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time for round 2 of the championship as it heads to Charlotte Motor Speedway for the second running of the Votive Charlotte 225. If you're enjoying tonight and what you see on the racetrack, then don't miss the action when Votive continues its season right here on P1 here in 2 weeks. 22 to go, and this thing is still not over yet. Lewis, we have our 3 leaders right together. Although Luca Tedesco is the leader, he's on pit road, just giving that up. But Clindy now passing him on the racetrack. But it is Clindy, it is Klimek, it is Kirkenbauer, but just lurking just a little bit behind him is that light blue car of Mason Mitchum, who is looking for he has one win here in the series, but it was a steward awarded win. So he wants to get a win where he actually takes the checkered flag, as Rafi Leon with the new tires, and his last pit stop goes purple with a 220.9. But Mason Mitchum badly wants to see that checkered flag first, where he didn't get at Indianapolis at the end of last season. He has the win, but he really wants to see that win get awarded the checkered flag, be the first car there, not just get it awarded after the fact. But Clindy starting to pull away a little bit over Anna. Clindy, Indy Kirkenbauer is in third, starting to fall back a little bit too. But could they just be biding their time? But there's a lot of lap traffic in front of Clindy in the form of Luke Reed, Ryan O'Donohue, Luca Tedesco, and Cody Cavaco. They're all right in front of the leader.
Yeah, for sure. It's like I think this is the group, because Brian Campbell is 1.5 behind of the Mason Mitchum, sorry. And Mason is just waiting for sure. They have a lap down on the front, and that helped to Clendy to escape a little bit more of the Anna Klimek. And I think this is the battle. But all depends about what kind of thing can do Ryan Campbell in this 18 to go, because in there also says Murphy, Davis, the Raft also too, Craig Forsyth. Surprised Craig Forsyth is over there, because I thought
this is a heck of a battle back here. I mean, you have this is Murphy in 6th, Butch Davis in 7th, Durazo in 8th, Forsyth 9th, Chad Simpson in 10th. Chad's getting a shout out in chat. Chad is up 30 spots to P10 from where he started this race. Rashad Craig in 11th. He's at green and black car side by side with Costner. That's Costner now moving up to 11th. Kostik Solwedge also in the back end of that picture. Christopher just on the outside of that picture. And then a little bit distance behind is Andrew Marquez. But basically, it is position 5 through 14, pretty much all together under the race on the racetrack. Throw a whole blanket over them as we go 2 wide off the corner. Butch Davis, Mark Murphy, 2 long-time, old and slow, hard chargers, and they are battling out, going to the bottom of the racetrack. Murphy slams the door on Butch and holds on to 6th.
Yeah, he used the brake, he hold the brake, sorry, Davis, because Murphy hit on the front. Nice job from Davis to avoid that contact, because it's for sure, he's going for the contact over there.
Side by side still. This is a battle for 6th. Davis has the position and the momentum on the high side, and he gets past Murphy. Move the veteran up to 6 spots. He is now 15 improved from where he started this race earlier tonight. 14 to go Up front, Clindy leads by 1/10 of a second over Klimek. Klimek is back as Clindy's now encountering that lap traffic, and he's picking a different line, trying to find that clean air. But here comes Anna Klimek. Remember, it was just a couple of weeks ago. In fact, it was on social media for iRacing when they had our call in the Indy Oval Series when Anna Klimek was leading at the white flag at Homestead, and Clindy drove from well back and ran her down and got the lead, got to her at her attenuator going into turn 3 on the white flag lap at Homestead and got the win at the checkered flag by 0.08 of a second. These two have battled each other for close wins here very recently, and I know Anna Klimek wants one back and would like nothing more to get that win back in one of the biggest community races of the year here in the Votive Indy Derby here at Kentucky Speedway to open this season. But the defending series champion, he also wants this win. He said a number of times on interviews he wants this win. This is one race he has circled. He really wants to get a victory and a dub here for not only himself but all of his sponsors, his team, everything, and he knows it's very important. He wants to hang on to this win, and he's hanging on by fingernails right now over Anna Klimek. But just lurking in the background is Kirkenbauer, the Indy Next Series Oval champion. He is right there, and if something should happen to Clindy and if something should happen to Klimek, we're going to have ourselves a new first-time winner in this series.
Actually, Anna Klimek last week, she won the Open Series in Kentucky. So she already knew or knows about this circuit, but it's different stuff. Now it's night. That day was the day.
And it was open setup versus fixed setup.
Trendy, I think.
But she had a whole race. But she had a whole race, which was, I think, 100 laps. I think is what they did. They had a whole, maybe 120. They had a whole race where she could learn how to use that hybrid power. So Clindy, though, starting to pull away by 0.4.
Yeah, I think that the lap down in front is start to help him to pull away on the back straight. But let's see, there's 9 to go. I hope Anna Klimek don't give up. Just try to do your best and push in whatever you can. If you
Caution
can,
on the racetrack. Rafi Leon down in the access road, I think off of turn 3, and let's see what happened. Gary Lovern, Leon, and Hugo Galez, and let's see what happens here.
Oh, Gary.
Oh.
In turn 3.
Contact, and that will send actually Lovern up into the wall, and also Leon into the infield grass to end his day up into the wall. And now this is going to be interesting, Lewis. We are under caution. We are going to go 7 to go. We'll probably go green with less than 5 to go, 5 or less to go. Do I come to pit road and go with a new set of tires on, or do I stay out and hold on the track position? I am inclined to believe to stay. I'm staying out and going to hold on the track position. But if Clindy stays out and Klimek and everybody else comes in, because kind of my instruction to my driver right now is do what the driver does in front of you. But I could throw a wrench at Klimek and say, do the opposite of what Clindy does, and if everyone follows Klimek down and they'll get new tires, Clindy's going to be a bit of a sitting duck. So we're going to see what everyone's going to do coming here off of corner number 3 and 4. Who is going to go down to pit road? And I'm sure we're going to have people pump faking, but who is going to stay out? And I think the call is to stay out.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to stay out. No, stay out is the easy way. Maybe 15 to go. It's kind of, I can think about it. I can come into the pit. 20 to go, 25 for sure. You have to come in because it's going to be a long stint. But like somebody said, Sophia said in the chat, it's no traffic to interfere. So for sure it's better to stay out. Good for Clindy. It depends on Anna do on the restart. It could be make her to maybe to the clinch to the victory. But it's tough, actually. It's really difficult. It's going to be really difficult because Clindy is really good defending the position here.
Today's fourth running of the Votive Indy Derby is presented to you by Lovern's Incorporated. Lovern's provides professional services in renovation, remodeling, painting, and mold removal for government, commercial, and residential projects. To get a quote or to learn more, you want to like them on Facebook. You can visit their website at lovernsinc.com today. Hey, the link you need is in the description. Check them out. They are your presenting sponsor of today's 4th running of the Indy Derby to open Season 4 of the Votive Indy Oval Series. We are at 6 to go right now under caution due to an incident in Turn 3 and 4 involving Gary Lovern and Rafi Leon. And we are going to see a sprint to the end here. I believe we're going to go lights out this time by on the pace car. So that will put us green flag with 4 to go. And we are going to have ourselves a 12-mile sprint to the end here. Or excuse me, 6th mile. It'd be easier if I could add 6-mile sprint to the end.
Yes, Campbell burn the tire, burn fuel.
Yeah, you hear a lot of cars out there on the high revs trying to burn their excess fuel off to make them lighter. We'll run through the field, see if we hear anybody doing that right now. We don't really hear anybody doing that right now, but going through the field.
So, if they cross the line and 3 to go, the race is over for sure.
Yeah, so, next flag probably ends after this. Next flag ends it.
I hope for the show, stay in green to the end.
So we did have some cars come down pit road, and they went for new tires. Forsyth, Stouffer, Wood, Gallas, Marquez, Tedesco, Swearington. Some of these guys might not be on the lead lap, but Haisong, Brashear, Forsyth, yeah. So some of these guys came down pit road, and they went with new tires. Forsyth, Stouffer, Wood, Gallas, Marquez, Tedesco, Swearington, Caleb Brashear. So here we go, getting ready to go green, bringing them down slow, bringing them down slow, bringing them down slow, bringing them down slow. Nate takes off, green flag in the air, and he goes right to the bottom of the racetrack to break the draft, and we are underway for the final sprint here. 4 to go in Kentucky for the Derby.
This is the moment where you feel nervous. If Anna or Andy, it's like I'm nervous. I can win, and I can do it. So it's really important that, and also the key is if Clendy go into the first line, just squeeze him. If you want to do that, you may win it. You saw it with Trost and Maleska in the fixed series, and that worked pretty well for Trost that day, I think.
3 to go. And Andy Kirkenbauer's got the draft, and he's going to try to follow Clindy on through to get second. Here's Mason Mitchum in 4th, coming off the corner. Clindy has a bit of a lead, but he's going to have the momentum for Klimek coming up behind him, coming to 2 to go at the line. Side by side, Kirkenbauer and Mitchum for 3rd. Klimek slams the door. She needs to defend now. To the bottom of the racetrack. Clindy goes to defend. Now he goes to the bottom. He doesn't want to be pinned on the bottom. And 3 and 4 on the high side. There's Klimek. She's going to have the momentum coming off the corner. White flag out this time by 1 more lap to go here. And down the stretch they come for the win here at the Votive Indy Derby. Oh, and Klimek slides in behind between Clindy and between the Prodigy. Now to the high side. Clindy floats up. Here comes the Prodigy to the inside. 3 wide for the win, coming off a corner number 3 and 4 for the checkered flag for the Votive Indy Derby. High side Klimek, but I don't think he's going to have the momentum, and it's going to be Clindy at the line getting the win that he's been searching for, and he goes spinning to the inside.
Jeez, man, I think Anna Klimek here, she heard the 3Y and she went high. So I know when you hear the 3Y or hear something different, like a 2Y, you avoid that stuff, and that's Andy tried to, and he did a good job on there. But unfortunately for him, and also good for Clendy did make the pass and, well, win the race actually.
What a finish! The closest Derby finish to date. The previous closest finish was last race, Campbell over Forsyth by 3.370, 0.3 of a second, almost 0.4 of a second. So considerably closer. Margin of victory, there you see 0.062 there on the timing sheet. And there is your results for the 4th Votive Indy Derby presented by Lovern's Inc. Clindy getting that win that he has been looking for. And really, we talked about the stat coming into this race. There are 13 different winners in 18 races. Now still 13 different winners in 19 races over the last 3 seasons. Season 2, Season 3, and the partial Season 4 now. Clay's got 5 wins in that period. Anna Klimek second, Andy Kirkenbauer in third, Mason Mitchum in fourth, Butch Davis, great run for Butch, and it's good to see him here. I hope we see more of Butch, time permitting. I'm going to guess, and I'll let you make the call who's going to be the Luis Gonzalez Nunez driver of the race, but Butch Davis finishes 5th, 16 spots better. Durazo, now remember, Durazo was in the points battle all last season. Very good in this league, always very close, very consistent. Again, another good finish for him. It's going to help his points, the defense of kind of what he did, finish on the podium for the points championship last season. Another good effort already this season, and he finishes 20 spots better. So we'll continue to watch Dan through the rest of this season and see how well the Cat does. Mark Murphy, in a bid to become a 2-time winner here, comes home in 7th. Ryan Campbell, the bid to become a 2-time winner here, and the defending champion from a season ago is a Chad Simpson. Very quietly, very savagely. I mean, he's probably one of the most experienced drivers in this lineup as well. Tons and tons and tons of starts going back to the DW12 era. He's up 31 positions. He comes home in 9th. The Catalyst, Andrew Wood, holding the flag for the power slide entry. The wall of power slide crumbled a little bit today, but there was still one pillar left standing, and that was Andrew Wood. He comes home in 10th, up 24 spots. We got Rashad Craig in 11th, Craig Forsyth. Well, at least Craig didn't finish second again, but he had a really good race, and he was in a running for it there late. Craig comes home in 12th. Sam Costner had himself a great race, too. 13th. 13th, I don't really reflect really kind of where we saw him high up into the top 10 at one point, but a 13th is where he comes home today. Andrew Marquez running for Team I5G now. Winner at Milwaukee a season ago, comes home 14th. Tracy Did in 15th. Lyle Swearingen, and I believe this might be his debut race here in the series. Not only qualifies through the Open, but gets in here and finishes 16th, the top 20 to start your Votive career. Not too bad. Hugo Gallas 17th, Kosta Solwich 18th, Tedesco 19th, Caleb Brashear in 20th. And we got Clay Kirkenbauer, the Prodigy's father. He comes home in 21st position. Not a bad day for him, and he also did improve 20 spots, so not a bad day for him. High Song in 22nd, Christopher 23rd. Ryan O'Donohue, the stock car veteran, comes home 24th. Seb Alexander 25th. 1 lap down. Cody Gavaco also 1 lap down at 26th. Brendan Lichtenberg, just that one little penalty speeding on pit road, and that just kind of threw his race in the reverse a little bit. 27th, Chris Albrecht, the pole sitter at Indianapolis for the Elite Racing League's INDYCAR Series. 28th, Tony Estrada, who finished so well here a season ago. Not the day he was looking for in 29th, and Jacob Collins in 30th. Gary Lover in 31st, Luke Reed 32nd, Rafi Leon 33rd, Shane Coker 34th, AJ Hobson 35th, Robert Mleczka with that incident on the racetrack at turns 3 and 4. 36th position, Logan Edwards also involved there along with Jacob Osters, 37th to 38th. Casey Povolonis at one point running as high in the top 5, and unfortunately that damage caused that multi-car incident. Comes home at 39th, Josh Ward in 40th. Ty Quill at 41st, Adam Blocker. You don't see that very often, Lewis. You don't see Adam Blocker in last. But it happens to everybody. Happens to everybody, eventually. Comes home at 42nd.
Yeah, couple of the big names around no racing bump or whatever. So even for him, it can happen.
So who's your Luis Gonzalez Nunez driver of the race?
Chad Simpson for sure, 31st, 31 position.
Chad Simpson?
But it's a lot, Dorato. Yeah. That's a lot of people. They have a good Davis with 16, Dorato's 20th.
Yeah, a lot of drivers are out there hustling. Yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
drivers out there hustling.
Let me tell you, it's not like Daytona or Taladera, because this is Kentucky. It's really difficult to make the pass, and also to shot. It started on 40th today in the 14th position today in the race. So 31 position for him. So this is the driver of the day.
All right, we're getting some replays queued up here. All right. And we'll bring up Indy Kirkenbauer in here, and here is the prodigy Indy Kirkenbauer, the Indy Next Oval Series champion, and been on the podium a number of times on our Sunday broadcast, whether it be Dark Horse or Votive, and so close here at the Indy Derby one more time. You finished second in season 2 at the second running of this race to Tanner Richards. Finished third today. At one point, taking a stab at it, going 3 wide through turns 3 and 4, kind of a last gasp effort. Was there hope to make that pass work, or just you didn't have anything left and just send it and see what happens?
Yeah, I was just gonna send it and see what happens. You know, I knew that most likely I'm not gonna get that move done, but if I didn't take that move, I was going to be at risk of hitting dirty air and be at risk of losing third place. So I just wanted to at least get clean air on my front nose so I could keep the podium. And yeah, it was a good race. I finally didn't screw up on my pit stops. I saved my tires decently. Yeah, it was a good race.
The call that you made to stay out there and pick up some track position, what made you make that call? I mean, you knew that you had to come in, and it was probably going to be under green when you made a green flag pit stop, so you knew it was a bit of a gamble. But was it just for the track position, to try to get a track position on everybody, knowing that most everyone behind you is going to be on fresher tires?
Yeah, I didn't expect that many people to pit there, honestly. Then I saw Clindy and Rob go, and I just stayed out, so I didn't expect there were only like six or seven people that stayed out. So, yeah, that was not preferred, but I made up for it, and was able to get a decent pit stop there, and then it did end up hurting me in the long run because then Clendy had fresher tires than me at the very end. That was the main thing, but I wouldn't have got him anyway. He was really, really fast.
You started 8th and kind of rocketed up to the front right away. And at one point, you're sitting there battling with some really big boys. I don't know how much you race against Robert Maluchka. I know you race Clindy on a regular basis. So we got to kind of see some matchups that we don't really see very often in the community unfolding up front. But a whole host of different names were kind of up at the front. But you were kind of one of the ones that's been up there all race long. What'd you kind of think of of the talent pool and of the drivers of the racecraft of the drivers in this race. I mean, there was a little bit of everybody up there at one point. Anna, of course, finished up there. Mason went from the front to the back to the front again. Butch Davis, he improved 16 spots to show up there with you guys. Mark Murphy all of a sudden shows up. Ryan Campbell all of a sudden shows up there. Chad Simpson. I mean, there were comers and goers all the time at the front, and you were kind of always up there at the front all the time. I mean, that kind of give you some fun racing, that you're kind of racing someone new the whole time, that you just, all these comers go. Did you ever see a name pop up on your screen and go, where the heck they come from?
No, not really. I was just focusing on driving fast and turning left. So I just was really focused. I wasn't really focused on who was behind me. I was just focused on seeing if I could get to Clindy and Anna, and I wish I would have maybe backed it down a little bit more in the first 20 laps of that last run, so I could have more tire at the end. Because I just saw the lead in the last stint of an Indy Derby, and I just went for it.
Sure.
And it did not go to plan and ended up destroying my tires. So, yeah, it was just like a super fun race. Great win from Clindy.
Well, you got 8 other shots to get that first win this season. You're starting off the championship pretty good in third spot. We're heading off to, let's see, where we're heading to Charlotte next. Let me bring up the calendar here on the screen for everybody to show the schedule, and I'll remind myself, yeah, we're going to Charlotte Motor Speedway next, a track that I suspect that you'll probably do pretty well at. Any shout-outs, friends, family, sponsors? I know you want this win badly, and I hear it in your voice, and I think it's just a matter of time, but third place today, congrats. I guess you got some people that you got a microphone. Get a chance to thank some people. Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to thank Fremont Functional Fitness, BGM Rain Associates, Fort Ball Pizza Palace, the Alley and Clyde Make Something on YouTube, Bayside Heating and Cooling. Those are all my go-kart sponsors. And then I want to thank Votive Racing for helping me out with this. I wouldn't have been near up there if it wasn't for them. Thank you to Shane for putting this event on. Thank you to you guys for putting the broadcast on. And thank you to Mason and Casey for helping me with Q-Trim, all my other teammates as well. Thank you to my dad for setting up my sim. Thank you to all my friends and family watching this. And yeah, I hope to do better in the next derby. That's all you can do.
Hey, your old man did a pretty good job today. He finished 20 spots better from where he started. So congratulate him on a decent race as well. But a good day all in all for the Kirkenbauer senior and junior on the podium, and then a big gainer a little bit further on back. Congratulations. We will catch you later in the season when we get back to the, I guess, normal part of the schedule when we get to Charlotte here in 2 weeks. But until then, congratulations on tonight.
Yep, thank you.
Is it me, Lewis? He just sounds a little disappointed.
Yeah, sure, for sure. I just start to hear like oh yeah, he almost get it, but Clendy defended the position in the second line, and it could be make it, but the problem is one or the other. Or I make the pass, or I go back, or I break all this guy and make some mission win the race. So it's like one of these 3 options. So hard to decision. It's hard.
I'll bring up Anna Klimek here. Anna joining us in the booth in John Deere country, in a racetrack kind of painted like John Deere, but in the Deere car. And I think at some point you got to be thinking, oh dear, I got beat by Clindy again, but this time you're the one running him down, not him running you down. First of all, you're tired of the close finishes with the guy, and second of all, you got to be like, one of these days I'm going to get this win. And third of all, you got to be somewhat happy. I mean, you won earlier in the week at Kentucky in the Open Series, so you probably picked up a bunch of experience there, and you got a P2 today. I mean, it's one of those dual edged knife type things. It's on one side it cuts and it hurts, but the other side I did some damage myself.
Yeah, it is, but honestly, how I drove through the field today, just managing my tires and then getting out to there in the end and just being at the front at the end, I'm just really proud of how I drove today. I'm really happy, and I'm just happy to take home some prize money, which which is a lot, for me. So yeah, I'm just really happy. Even though it does suck that I lose out to Clindy, but Clindy's been doing this for years, and this time last year I only just started iRacing, so and so coming up with someone who's got a shit ton of experience versus me who's still up and coming. There's still stuff to learn, but I'm coming for him, so just
Yeah,
watch out
we
for one more year.
we know that. We see you coming for him. The results are getting there every week. I don't know. I guess Deer. I know that it might not be the right sex, but eventually you're going to grow horns and be a buck, and one of these days you're just going to hook them up with those horns and just move them out of the way. We like our deers here in Indiana, by the way. But talk about your race. I mean, you started. You talked about it. You started 17th. You didn't have the greatest qual run, but I mean, let's face it. This was a stacked field. I think Lewis said this is a 4.2 strength of field. For a league race, that's unheard of.
Yes.
So the fact that, and I remember racing in the old Lionheart days when you would put your in a go qualifying, and if you were a 10th off, I mean, you were 20th, and so I mean, you started 16th today. I don't know if you were 10th off, but it could have been easily that spread today with the way that this was a stacked lineup, and you drove your way up to the front, but. I asked Indy this, and it didn't seem to really impact him. But as soon as you got there, you kind of stayed there. But there were all sorts of other comers and goers that were kind of up there joining you at all times. And it was kind of a who's who rotary of drivers that were always showing up at the front. But you kind of were always. What was it like racing up there with all these different names that some you race on a regular basis, some you don't, some you maybe never have raced with, and they're all part of the battle here for the lead in the top 5 at one point here of the Indy Derby.
Actually, I think it was in that first stint, and when I was deep in the field, I was working with, battling with Blocker, and I took ages to get past him, but it was really fun. We had really good, we fought really well together, like, even though Adam clearly cooked his tires in the end, it was just kind of fun, just slowly battling, like, some of the pro drivers as well, and some of the other top drivers, and I don't know, I kind of felt like I put a lot of practice into Dirty Air this week because I knew if I could manage the Dirty Air, then I could get to the front. And clearly it showed today that I got to the front. And then once I pretty much got to the front, it just felt a lot more nicer being up there. So.
Well, you got second today. You got one win in the series. We know it's just a matter of time before you get another one.
Yeah.
We're only one race into the schedule. Now, you think of this, not only finishing second on the racetrack, but you get a really good start to the season. You're second in the points. It's always a good way to a points championship is always starting off strong. So you got to feel pretty good about that. Shout outs, friends, family, sponsors. I know that your your technical alliance of teams that you have, it's you, Luke Bansky, and Votive VRL. You guys did really well today. I mean, you took 2 steps to the podium. That's got to be a good day for the team and just a sign of things to come.
Yeah, well, actually, it's TMR and Votive at the moment. I was working with Mason pretty much today in voice call, and when we won an open together, we had really good communication. And coming in today, we worked really well again. So we just bounced off each other really well and got to the front. So yes, can I do my shout out to friends and such?
By all means, get your shout outs in because you earned them because you're a second spot here. I know you want those winner shout outs, but you'll get those eventually.
Yeah, and we'll get them. So officially shout out to Taylor Bills Racing and Votive as well for our collaboration and alliance. Results, I mean, the last few weeks have really showed that we're pretty much on top of the world there, on top pretty much. So, and we'll be on top once again coming to there. I think we'll be up there, always up the front there for a while. So shout out to TMR and Votive. Shout out to all other INDYCAR friends as well, VTuber friends as well, mum, dad, brother Jacob, my boyfriend Trent, Shay Coker as well. I was chatting with him last night about Robar innings, and I'll say Shane kind of helped me out there, so thank you, Shane. Nice and always lovely to have, and also running the league as well and putting on this amazing event tonight that showcased some brilliant racing. So yeah.
All right, we'll see you in 2 weeks when you go to Charlotte.
Yep, see you then.
Anna Klimek finishing in second tonight. Oh, so close. But here is our winner tonight, a guy that has been circling this date on the calendar for a while. He's been telling me, Gary, I want this win. I want this race. I really want this. And the rich kind of gets richer. 5th win in the last 2 seasons here in the series. 2-time champion and defending champion coming into this race. And starting off with a win of the Crown Jewel, and now your points champion to start season 4. It's all coming up, Clindy, tonight, and here he is joining us in the booth. Congratulations, Clindy. You wanted it. You got it. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Gary. It is such an honor to share the racetrack with these other 41 competitors we had tonight. They're all absolutely amazing, and to put the work in and do the practice and show up and put the effort in to be able to overcome my abysmal qualifying effort and show that I belong and that I'm one of the best in this race car, and to win one of the most prestigious races on the circuit means so much to me. It means more than you'll ever know. And for Shane Coker, who's believed in me and been the sponsor of my race car for these last 2 years, to win his marquee race after I've won everything else, I can retire happy. I'm not retiring, by the way, but like when I do retire, there's no what ifs. There's no what did I miss? What could I have done that I could have done better? How could I have won this race? I won it. I did it. I won. It's not that it's done. It's over. It's the beginning of the season, but mission accomplished. Check that one off the bucket list. Yes! Oh, yes!
I'll do my job, and we'll quell the tears of victory here. And let's talk about your race. It didn't start off in the best way for you. Normally, you're a pretty good qualifier, and today it was just a really stacked field. And I was telling the other guys in the interview, you know, like back in the old Lionheart days, you'd put your best effort in, and then you're like, wow, I just put my best lap in here for all evening long for qualifying. I'm a 10th off the pace, and now I'm starting 17th. And that's exactly kind of where you started. You started 17th. You saw the times come in. What happened in quals? I mean, did it bother you any? I mean, obviously it didn't bother you much during the race. You're able to pretty much recover pretty quickly and come up to the front. And once you got to the front, you stayed there. But this wasn't a victory. And I imagine a little bit of the tears come from this. You had to work for this, really. I mean, it wasn't just given to you. You didn't start up front and stay up front. You had to work for this, and you dug yourself a hole kind of early on, but you dug yourself out of it. What happened there in quals that made quals a little challenging for you? And what was your, you know, was that just you use it as motivation just to drive to the front in that first stint?
A little bit of a lot of things went wrong. The best lap I hit all week was a 4:25. So if I hit that in race or the race qualifying session, I would have started 3rd, and that would have been awesome. That's where I really wanted to start. I knew I had no shot at the pole because Mason and Rob are just lightning fast. You can't keep up with a Storm and a Pro, so I don't know what I'm supposed to do there, but you know, be 3rd best. But the car was really uncomfortable for me in 1 and 2. I had my tools where I'd always had them, and so I just didn't want to risk crashing or messing up 3 and 4, so I just did a tiny little 5% lift on entry to make sure I could get through the corner and get a clean, good lap in, because I maximized my white flag lap and threw away my green flag lap. And so I'm like, starting 10th to 15th is better than starting 30th. So I just didn't have full trust in the car, and I knew that I could come from the mid-pack and win, and that was no problem. I had been the best car in the long run in practice all week long. It didn't matter who was in front of me, if they had fresher tires or if I was in dirty air the whole time. I would pass the whole field, slow down, fall back to the back of the field or the pack again that was practicing, and do it again. And that was my practice regimen. I would just go back to front to back to front, back to front, over and over and over again. And you too can learn how to do that with me in the Votive Racing League practice sessions, which Shane hosts at least 2 of before every race. And I am there to coach and to teach and to tutor anyone who shows up. So come show up, learn to do it how I do it, and come win these big races.
Let's talk about the other thing that was kind of a first in this race. First votive race, first point paying votive race to be able to use classify that, because I know you had the off-season schedule, but the first votive points paying race to use the hybrid. And that goes back to one of the other questions I want to follow up with you, talking about the car. Kind of felt, you said you didn't have confidence in the car through 3 and 4 on your qualifying. Is the hybrid being there causing the car to feel before where you had confidence there in 3 and 4, where we know you've had success here in the past in qualifying? Is the hybrid being there kind of causing the car feel a little sketch to you under qualification conditions, or just the way the weight has changed? And then my other question is, how did you use the hybrid here on a mile and a half before? I know we talked about it a number of times in interviews, how you use the hybrid on Indianapolis, but how is the hybrid different at a mile and a half?
Yeah, so to answer the qualifying question, it was definitely the rears that were uncomfortable. It could be the hybrid being there. It just could be that the set was made to take 3 and 4 flat in, not necessarily cooler conditions, but to go fast, you have to be flat. And I just knew I was taking a big risk if I did that, and I just didn't want to do it. I could have ran negative jacker to maybe help that out, but then you push and you miss the bottom and you're just slow. So I figured kind of doing a little lift and hitting the line was going to be the best of both worlds. Safe and kind of quick, and it was all right. But when it comes to using the hybrid in qualifying, it's pretty easy. You just use it before your fast lap and you ride it as much as you can. But Kentucky and Texas, I think, are going to be two very interesting tracks to use the hybrid at going forward, generally because you have one slow end and one fast end. And in the fast end, it is possible, and I think other drivers learned through the race, that sometimes in order to position yourself or to make a pass on the high side on the fast end, you can use the hybrid in the corner. And it happened a lot this race. I don't know if you ever saw people get monster runs on the outside instead of on exit, but like on entry in the middle. That was them deploying their hybrid to position themselves for what I thought was the preferred line going down the back straightaway and into turn 3.
Well, that's... I think as more drivers get used to the hybrid, because it is a handful in the cockpit with everything going on. I mean, not only do you play with the weight jacker, engine map, brake bias, roll bars, everything else that you can do in a fixed setup car, you get to deploy and then regen on top of everything, and all the while doing 24.5-second laps here at Kentucky. It's you got your hands full up there. So we definitely understand the joy of victory and the overjoy of victory that you're feeling today right now with those tears. Well earned. Any shout outs, friends, family, sponsors, anyone who wants to say hi to today on I'm willing to say I've called a number of your wins. I don't know which one's your biggest one. This might be it. I know you got those Indy 500 wins, but a lot of that wasn't streamed and everything. But in terms of streamed wins, this has got to rank right up there pretty high, doesn't it?
This is number 1, and it'll never get topped. This is the best race on the service, beating 42 of the best competitors to line up and make this race. Indy is special, and Indy is different, but there's only 33 cars there. And Indianapolis promotes passing in ways that I would say is unconventional to most oval racing. This is as traditional as oval racing can get, and to win at this track against this caliber field will be the defining moment of my career, and it will never be topped. When it comes to shout outs, obviously I shout out Shane and this league and everyone who helps run it, but I want to give a big shout out to Mason Mitchum, who helped me steward qualifying last weekend when Shane could not. I want to give a big shout out to our race controllers, Matt Wagner and Mike Lane. They both do so much for the league, and this is a big undertaking to watch 42 cars run around the track and make sure we all mind our P's and Q's and everybody minds their best behavior, and the troublemakers get punished. And that all went off swimmingly and perfectly, and it was awesome. I want to thank all of my teammates at Rogue Racing, all of them, not just the ones who raced with me in Team Shadow today, but all the ones and all of my Alliance teammates at IAR and Satellite. Like I said, we've been firing on all cylinders recently and open and fixed everywhere. It seems like if we're not in contention to win, it's because we did something stupid and shot ourselves in the foot. And I'm suspect number 1 when it comes to that. But I am just so glad it did not happen today. I had a feeling that today it was going to come down to me and Rob, and to go blow for him or with him for the first 100 laps felt really good. To be able to stand up and prove my worth and work against and work with a Pro Series driver of his caliber. He's probably undisputably the best driver on ovals in this car on this service. But to show that I can keep up with him through 2 green flag cycles, both on strategy and on pace, and work with him to break away from other cars.
You had to run him down. You had to run him down at one point. Yeah.
I did indeed. It was a little bit of fuel save. I think he saw that he didn't quite make it to 50 laps on the first run, and he wanted, to get that back in the bank. So I wasn't going to overcut him the rest of the race. And I think he was really hoping that Jacob and I think it was O'Donoghue would start working together and pull us away while he could save fuel. It just never materialized, and that's when I caught him, and I think Mason caught him, or maybe it was Clemic. But we just all reeled him back in because he was busy saving the fuel he had burned to stay at front and try to break away from the draft in the first run. And his plan nearly worked. If I had messed up on pit road any more than I did, he would have gotten away with it too. But I'm one of those meddling kids. I also want to thank him for one other thing. I know for a while, Gary, you have been trying to get a nickname to stick for me, and I think Rob coined it today. After the unfortunate accident where he DNF'd, he said, kind of out of defeat, well, there goes the show, referring to our battle for the win, but I think it meant like me going on, right? So I think that's a cool way to get coined a nickname, because I just went on, blinders on, forward to the finish, and I was the show. So it's kind of maybe a little self-important, but I didn't coin it, right? Rob did. So I'll thank him for that. Thank you to my cousin Craig, who always tunes into these and has his logo on my car. He runs Segerman Farms in Mononk, Illinois. If you need agribusiness solutions, give him a call. Look them up. I know he grows and sells corn and soybeans, among other agribusiness products and solutions. Thanks to all my partners at advanced.gg, where you can get protein, caffeine, and hydration supplements for water drinks. You can use my checkout code CLENDYSENDY with a capital K and a capital S to get 10% off your order. And I get a little bit of that back. So if you could do that, I would love you for it forever. Thank you to everyone who tuned in from my posts on Reddit, my posts on LinkedIn, or not LinkedIn, on Facebook, excuse me. And absolutely thank you so much to my mom. My mom is my biggest fan. She watches every single race. She hoots, she hollers. I got to beat Anna Clemic in the photo finish at Homestead in her living room with her on the couch right behind me, and that moment's very special to me. And that I'm across the country right now from her doesn't hurt that bad, because I know she always watches, and she's always there with me, no matter where I am. So, thanks to my mom, I love you. And thanks to everyone who helped put the show on at P1 Broadcasting, Gary and LGN. You guys do so much unsung work. So if you guys in the chat could smash that thumbs up button, get a like spike, do a super chat, subscribe to the channel, watch our reels, go watch another video. That all helps the algorithm. We love it. And I think that's everyone I need to thank. Just top to bottom, tip to tail. I hunted the white whale. I had the harpoon out. I threw it. I landed it. And now I've got oil for the rest of my life, baby. I'm set.
Ahab got his whale. I haven't hit refresh yet on the all-time stats here for Votive, but in your 19th start, now you're back to tying Edson Santos for the career wins and leads in the regular season at 5. And you're starting off defense of your series championship, maybe trying to go like Alex Palou back to back to back. And it's always hard to get one, hard to go back to back. And it's really hard to go back to back to back. And you're starting off on the right foot with the win here in the Crown Jewel. Congratulations. Go celebrate. And everybody, his mom makes a mean banana bread too. So Clindy, we'll take care, and we'll see you in 2 weeks when we get back to the rest of the regular season in Charlotte.
Absolutely, Gary, LGN. Thanks so much for having me, and thanks for the broadcast.
You got it. Hey, Lewis, you've been there before, man. You got that big win, and, people are like, hey, man, I don't know if there's anyone out there laughing that he was tears of joy. But, it's not easy to win in this sim, right? It's not like a video game where you popped it into the PlayStation and you got the little controller in your hand and you beat the computer that way. It is not easy to beat 40 other real live human beings interconnected from all around the world in this race. And I remember when if Rick Rayvon's still in chat, I remember he was on comms with me when I won my very first race on iRacing It was a race at Michigan, and I gave out the cheer of victory when I won. And I'm sure when you won at the Lionheart level, when you took the checkered flag, I'm sure your wife was probably like, "Keep it down in there," because you were probably yelling really, really loud, which you earned it. I mean, these are not easy wins, and for someone to have tears of joy, I mean, do you blame the guy? And the fact that he wanted it so bad, and that he was out there racing with some of the guys that not only he looks up to in the community, but fiercely competes against and wants to beat. He did it today on his own accord.
Oh yeah, when I won the Michigan in the Lionheart by saving fuel, and then on the back of the guy with 12 seconds behind on me, and just saving. Yeah, it was like man, I won the finally I won. 1 year before, I got penalized in Michigan, sorry, in Charlotte, because too many incidents. I started for the back, and I finished third. And then, yeah, it was like a same feeling, like a same um, nervous, but not nervous because nervous for something bad. It's nervous because I won the race and I want to express my happiness with everyone. And when I won the last race on the Lionheart in the retro series in Fontana, so it was the same thing. I feel the same thing. When it's like oh, I won it. But I won in the last corner. Even looking for fun. It's just I make the pace, and I make the pass, and then gone. I won the race by, I don't know, for three 3,000 or something like that, 4,000 seconds. I don't know, remember. But yeah, it's like we saw Clendy win it in the fixed series. We saw Clendy win it the championship in the fixed series. We saw it now here. So for sure it's gonna be the biggest. And it's not easy. It's not Formula One, like a game Formula One. It's not like the NASCAR game we see, or playing the Nintendo 64, or Mario Kart winning for somebody.
Yeah.
No, it's difficult. It is really tough. It is difficult. You have to make your pass. You have to make this. You have to make that. You have to think about it a lot. And Clendy thinking good and make a good job. So it really, it's not laughing, but it's really like finally he won something very important. Is really important because the names we have around, and also the straight of field we have today, it was for be like that. And also you have the other ways, like when you're losing, for example, me, when I losing by half a lap to go to win the Indy 500. It's not my first Indy 500, but winning by my Indy 500 over the 10 seconds behind all these guys, and losing because I for fuel. It's the other way to feel this emotion and this iRacing community or iRacing staff we have today. So, but yeah, it was a good race. We have the black and white situation. The situation on Clendy be emotional because he want to win, and the emotion about in Andy tried to make the pass in the last corner, and he have a disappointment because he want to win the race. So thinking about the emotion we have at night racing and the emotion with all this stuff. So Clendy leading 76 laps, Andy league 1 lap, and Robert 63 laps leading today in the race. Andy 22, Anna Clement only one.
Okay.
So that's the stand for the end. So, anyways, next one for sure, Charlotte. It's not the same Charlotte when I racing that day in the Lionheart because it was the new one. I think so. This is Legacy. I'm not sure. That's the one I said in the race up. But gonna be really excited to see that all of this maybe over the 30 cars running in these 1.5 miles, 150 laps around the track. So it's gonna be really good for that. So see you there, and congratulations for everyone. All of this Shane Cocker from Chain to the top to all of these guys, because today's really was a success. We thought it's gonna be was success before, but today really success because we have almost the peak with the 100 people watching the race, and to be honest, it was really good race today to show everyone in P1. So see you in a week or 2 weeks for the Charlotte.
Yeah, it's interesting. Back when I watched IndyCar racing and learned about IndyCar, I mean, I'm from Indianapolis. Obviously, I know about IndyCar racing from living in Indianapolis with the Indy 500. But any other time, if you want to watch it, you had to watch it on some sort of tape delay on ABC and Wide World of Sports. And when Wide World of Sports would always stop, they always start with their broadcast and the promo. Would always say the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. And it always showed the guy on the going down on the ski jump, falling off the ski jump and tumbling and everything. That was the agony of defeat guy. We've heard that with Clindy. We've heard the agony of defeat, and we've heard the thrill of victory, and it's great to hear people that are willing to wear their feelings on a sleeve and let everyone know out there how important this stuff is. Even though it is I'm going to say computer game, but it's a computer sim, and some people might take, but put a little time and energy into this stuff, and money for that matter. So that's time investment, and not just money investment, it's time investment. So it just thankful for everyone that showed up tonight. Again, another rare thing about tonight, this is the first time that I've done a broadcast that has had more than 40 Indy cars in it. I think I've probably done something with stock cars. I don't care about that. But the 40 Indy cars, you don't see that very often. We went through just some cursory history, and we went back to the Lionheart series, but that's the only one that I knew of that would probably be able to fill more than 40, and they managed to have one race with 43. We were supposed to have 43 today. We had 42, but they didn't have very many. I don't think they had any other races above 41, the Lionheart series. You and I, Lewis, have called now 3 races here in Kentucky in Votive with more than 39 drivers, or 39 or more drivers. And then we called a race over in the Elite Racing League at Pocono. That was the one that Pinero won from 33rd. There was 39 drivers in that race. So we've managed to call 4 of these races with 39 or more, and it's really, really hard to do because you got your head on a swivel and there's action every place. And these guys again delivered, but you don't see this very often, even in league competitions. And that just says something to the drivers that when their time investment want to be part of this, and of course everybody that's part of the league, getting everybody excited and want to be a part of this to show up on a Sunday night in the middle of January to get on the racetrack. Go ahead.
I never, to be honest, when the first race, when I won in Kansas that night, with too many yellows. I remember it was like, oh my God, another league with too many yellows to come in to the race in Kentucky on the off season for the exhibition race. And then we come in this for the 4th season. It's a day and night. I don't want to say black and white again because I mentioned for the other guys, but it's a day and night of when they started with I think it's 15 or 16 cars. I just show up because for fun to have 42 cars with 2 or 3 pro guys series show up today with 42-16 straight field is really, really a good improve, and I'm really glad, I'm really happy to be in this. It's a history stuff for us, for the channel, and also for Votive to be here and show and also talking about all of this stuff. So really congratulations to Clendy, and also congratulations for the entire Votive stuff because it's really success. Let's happy today.
Well, that's going to do it here for tonight. Get on everyone out of here and give everyone back their Sunday night so they can start the week. That's it for tonight. Once again, your podium here for the 4th running of the Votive Indy Derby from Kentucky, presented by Loverns Incorporated. Kyle Clinworth gets his 5th league win. That now ties him for Edson Santos, or with Edson Santos. They both have 5 wins in the head at the top of the charts here for Votive in the 4 seasons. 5 wins get you to the #1 spot. So his 5th win tonight. 5th win since season 2, so getting all those since season 2, and he's a defending series champion over the last 2 seasons, and now setting them up for a run for the back-to-back-to-back. Well, we'll see. He's got the win here tonight by 62 thousandths of a second over Anna Klimek. Anna's thinking, geez, another close win to Clinty. We're going to continue watching that battle. I think it's just going to get more and more interesting and closer and closer and closer between those two. Anna, winner at Iowa a season ago, comes home in second. And Indy Kirkenbauer, again, there's that thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. Still finishes on the podium. It's kind of like Senna, how we used to see him back in the day in Formula One. He was all pissed off if he finished second or third. You know, he wasn't winning.
Oh, yeah.
I remember as a kid. And Alan Prost was like that too. And I remember as a kid watching him on ESPN, and you're like, what are you upset about? You know? But, you know.
Because he always said that the second place is the first loser of the field.
Well, I definitely Indy is thinking in that time, in that frame of mind there, and he will get that one win here and more for sure in the Votive Series. He comes home in third. Hey, join Luis Gonzalez Nunez and myself again in 2 weeks on Sunday, January 15th. Not 15th. What is it? 25th. I think it's the 25th, right? Look at the schedule just to be sure. Let's bring it up on the screen.
Yes.
One more time. Yeah, the 15th. Here we go to Michigan. So join me. Yeah, join me and Lewis again in 2 weeks on the 15th for round 2 of season 4 of the Votive Indy Oval Series. The teams and drivers head to Charlotte Motor Speedway for the second running of the Charlotte Votive 225. Coverage, as always, will start at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Again, it's 8:00 p.m. Eastern. Remember, as always, it's a new season. So for the correct broadcast time in your area, just find everything right here at YouTube at youtube.com/@P1 Broadcasting. Now, as you know, the YouTube algorithm game is not an easy one, so please help support P1 with the weekly grind. Leave a comment below. Let us know it's out of tonight's race. If you enjoyed tonight's coverage, support us by smashing like in the video. If you're new, click subscribe. And while you're at it, hit the bell for weekly reminders so don't miss out on more P1's other iRacing programming, including next week the return of the longest-running Dallara DW12 series on iRacing. It's the Dark Horse Racing League and their DW12 INDYCAR series. Season 9 starts next week from Auto Club Speedway. Join myself and the Catalyst Andrew Wood, who got a top 10 here today. Coverage starts at 8 p.m. Eastern Time right here on P1. Today's 4th running of the Votive Indy Derby is presented to you by Loverns Incorporated. Loverns provides professional services in renovation, remodeling, painting, and mold removal for government, commercial, and residential projects. For a quote to learn more, like them on Facebook, or you can follow their website, or visit them at their website at loversinc.com. The link is in the description. And a shout out to Tom Lovern. That's Gary's brother, and he's the owner of Loverns Inc. I want to thank him for being a part of the 4th running of the Votive Indy Derby. Track cans for this race are provided by Whiplash Sim Cans. Get the most out of your iRacing experience with Whiplash Sim Cans. To learn more about Whiplash, like them on Facebook. You can follow on X and Instagram. All the links you need are in the description. For business inquiries, to learn more about P1, what we do, like us on Facebook. You can follow us on X and Instagram. You can follow all of our social links on Linktree. The links you need, they're all in the description. So for Luis Gonzalez Nunez, everyone here at Votive and P1, I'm Gary Gotzo saying all happy Sunday. And thanks for watching. And all of our men and women serving in the military and its first responders. Godspeed, God bless, and come home safe. Catch us again in 2 weeks at Charlotte for the next race of the Votive Indy Oval Series. We'll see ya, and go Hoosiers.